Do take out Leaf. Maybe there's a chance. He's making it so damn hard for them.
Ethan's there trying to get back through garage. That's a deadlock wall in his face.
Yeah, he wasn't expecting that.
The anti-synergy there. Ethan, the one that was able to retrieve that Phantom, but has to do so much in this spot. Don't think there's anything happening here.
No.
Another round, obviously G2 with an enormous economy advantage, but another round that they navigate really nicely.
Just missing the timing.
Yeah, okay. A little bit of danger as Ethan pokes and prods, trading out crashies, but he's not going to be able to get the defuse in this spot. This is all just a silver lining on what was otherwise a cloudy round. That push down C-Long with Ethan and Som. The Gravnet to set it up is a lovely idea. NRG have clearly been in the lab cooking some of these up, but instantly, this is what I'm talking about. G2 have not been running scrims against people doing this strat and had something preset, but instantly they've got counter utility, Icy throwing out a one-way, then throwing out a second cloudburst on the floor to cover the fact that they have to pull themselves up from the ground, out of the Gravnet. The cover for themselves to counter what G2 are going for is lovely, and then once they get to a position of stability, Valen's calling takes over and delivers them.
We're here.
Just got so many good protocols that are, I mean, super well drilled. It's the word that we use to describe G2 all the time. Always anticipating if there's a bit of aggression, they're going to have a plan for it. Flash to clear out into mid here, making a bit of noise. Once more, they're putting the operator into Ethan's hands, and he might get his chance to strike back. Has to dodge the drone for now.
He does not have a gate crash anymore. It expired. He doesn't have a second. So this is dangerous.
It's really risky. He has no way to get out of here.
I mean, if he can get one back up and maybe use his ultimate, that would be the only choice.
We're here.
Past him now.
Here to give you your points. Your huge bucks.
Exploration by NRG. They're going to be very aware this is going to be landing towards A.
Prime sub.
Flank comes through. That is incredible information. Som just sees about 3 or 4 of them, but Ethan is going to be alone. Operating here, needs to land that shot. Icy just removes him. Leaf tucked to the side. It's Annihilation. It's going to be used to at least remove him, and it needs to be some help. A bailout from the G2 players. NRG, they're going for this one. Dropped out wide. Leaf essentially just left out into the open there. Removed from the wrapping. Crashies dropping out from the high ground. It's a fight on multiple fronts right now, but G2 might still have a bit of control of this. Putting the squeeze onto Trent. Wasn't expecting that one, leaving it just down to that 1v2. Best opportunity that NRG have had in quite some time to win this round. Smoke's propped up. Som sticking it, and it's covered in time. Crashies.
Got him.
One to the dome.
It's the comeback.
The IGL, finally getting around on the board.
Difficult for NRG, and they used a huge amount of ultimates to get there, but they have eventually gotten their opener. Such a comical situation here as Som just has Leaf hand delivered over to him towards A lobby. At that point, what is the reason for breaking the Annihilation cocoon? But Trent wanted it.
It is the first round that I came back. I started a stream, you know.
A nicely called mid-round push down.
Perfect.
Down the gut, down mid, to set Finesse up for that Annihilation onto the
Came to 1-6, it was 0-6.
You look at the ultimates and the state of the game.
I manifested a 1-6. I can't give them more than that, though. The rest is on them.
That deadlock wall is doing nothing.
No, it just got blown up in a minute.
What do I think of the new knife? I don't really like the new knife. I don't really like the new bundle, I'll be honest with you. How's it going? I finished the story. Now I'm doing crafting.
But exactly at the right moment, striking wide the iron is hot, but still Leaf from behind. He'll answer back at G2! Are removing all of them. Trent! It's a masterclass! How have they pulled this from the brink? Crashies now. It's the one with so much more to do. Dropped down into the open with the spike, but picked back up again the plant. Can afford this. Leaf. He's got a space and breathing room here just from the lockdown that is dropped. 1v1 though. Operator in his
Sees
eye. Up here and Crashies. Not ready for it. Still with a missed shot. It's a slight jiggle. The reposition. Backs himself away. Nanoswarm at least onto the spike. Drops it away. Crashies still with a lot to play for here. One haunt available.
No way, right?
For it. Potentially half onto it. Smoked off. Onto the spike, stick it!
Oh shit, what the fuck? Okay.
Vintage Crashies!
That was a perfect smoke. Oh my god.
Nuts play there, Leaf robbed. Not that he played it particularly badly, he just missed those 2 off shots when he needed to land it onto Crashies. There's the star clutcher. It was a great round from Leaf as well.
I want to see the POV from
credit to him for playing
that.
more aggressively on the lurk.
Show me, show me.
What NRG were going for, but
that's fine.
I do agree with you, Brendan. Love that call. They knew it was headed towards C. They dodged the breach shot and they flooded back in instantly afterwards.
I don't like the new bundle. I know you all may like the bundle, but it's not for me.
Close behind.
And I would buy.
So
I would buy it.
NRG
It's just.
themselves back up off the floor.
I don't think it's that good.
How many rounds do they really need on the defensive half?
It's impossible to say, in my opinion, because we just have no measuring point for what NRG's composition is going to do on the attack side.
Right, I got 3
Nobody
crafters to 100 now. Now I got to finish up the rest.
They've been improving with their attack side rounds overall.
Absolutely.
Yeah, ever since FNS has come back in here. Foot line to the corner. Does Ethan have the gate crash? Looks like it's still active. He's just disrespecting it though.
Do they suspect Ethan being tucked into the corner? When Victor plays the jiggle peek there, alarm bells should be ringing.
Tryouts? Oh yeah.
And Ethan and Victor
I haven't done tryouts in forever. I did do. Ooh, rating 3 viewers. Look at that, 3. Thank you, Raiders.
And this looks great. This is delivering so much information over to NRG's defense side that they're lacking because of their composition. Made up for it.
You're gonna pivot though. They still have time.
Apparently not.
It's okay. I thought the
3 million viewers.
Just broken. They are at least pull these players. They are, but who's going to be meeting them? It's a battle and a race between these players. Som, he's getting a master sprint on right now. This guy getting the move on. Smoke propped up into his face. Blooms makes it nice and awkward. Trent,
10 seconds
he's with the plant. What's the call now for NRG? Trying to fight back.
Oh, that's not good.
To this one here, and they've inserted Valen.
I guess this is 2-7.
Out for the back of the side though. Now playing with a bit of a blitzering play. The trade is a match
Or
Ethan. He's online now.
Not.
Kicked it
Garage,
into a
you heard
completely
him.
different gear. 2v2 though. That's where we stand at. Tap onto it, release with the smoke into his face, and he's isolated. One more fight, an ace. It's a possibility. Let's take onto it. Have at least so many possibilities for Ethan to play with.
What? Wait, why'd he turn?
Shut down and denied.
Why'd he turn? Why'd he turn like that? That was
God,
weird.
what a round that was from
Did you
Ethan.
think he
I really
killed him
believed he
already?
had it there. One tiny footstep that Valen threw out made Ethan believe that Valen was about to burn
Why
his
did he
way
only
into
shoot
the
once?
smoke. He pulled out the shorty and couldn't
That was
connect.
weird.
Almost had it.
One enemy.
NRG desperately needs somebody to come online in that way. That kind of round is needed. That kind of retake power is needed. And yet still, the scoreline 7-2 for G2.
That was kind of weird.
Navigating through all the danger.
The pre-aim.
That's rough. Victor's been caught a couple of times now in that kind of spot, but it can't deter NRG. They've still got to be going for those mid pushes, because how else are they gathering info? This round, obviously, massive economy advantage for G2.
No,
NRG
you can still shoot the second bullet shots. I just don't like the second one would have killed him. No matter, even if it was inaccurate. Ish.
A lot of utils now being pulled out by NRG here with all the bodies they've got. Grouping up over towards A.
Whatever.
Now, in that previous round, when G2 made the mad dash over towards C, Som, he had teleports and a paranoia to work with. The call from the team was to play one big retake, not for Som to go in and try to delay them and harass them on his own. But in a round like this, where you have less of a chance of winning and it's more trying to get value out of the eco, there was a chance maybe for Som to slip in over towards the other side of the map. Instead, NRG have gone for the group up, and it looks like Valen once more has read the state of the game pretty perfectly.
Maybe just a bit of that conditioning as well, playing a factor. G2
30 seconds left.
went for the re-hit last time they were over towards A and they got stunted.
Forgot leveling crafters is expensive. There goes like 20 mil
plant
maybe.
down now over towards C.
Actually, 20 mil is too expensive. Like 5 mil?
Leaf looking to try and hold on. It's going to be pressured. 2 players up through mid, 2 on the flank as well.
But Leaf's been so good in these spots. He's 13-4, made that 14.
They're spotting him though. Hail of bullets going to be raining down, and Anaswarm just gives him that buffer window of opportunity to work with, and Trent was there to back him up as well. Very white-faced by Crashies. It's a decent go of things here, but 12 health. It's going to be another round here for G2, up to 8.
How good has Leaf been at just controlling these positions? Anytime NRG is trying to get onto the flank, Leaf is there. when Leaf spots an opportunity to get an aggressive lurk going, he's deep into positions. We've seen him at top garage window multiple times, making that flank through onto the C site as well.
Submarines? Yeah, that's why people
Remember,
buy out entire wards
against Cloud9 on Lotus,
for FC. And why people hate the fact that submarines are tied to FC. I mean, I do. I hate it. You have 30 houses purchased by a group of people to make money,
running this game right
which
now.
is kind of antithetical to the point of
those two look good.
award, but
still going down to the wire, but it's been barely a glimmer of success for them, and the scoreboard reflects that. With Victor and Finesse only 3 between them after 10 rounds.
So far, it's all been Valiant winning that battle of the IGL's battle of the minds that we've been setting up between these two teams.
Finesse known for his attack side calling though, so
for sure.
You know, you just have to get. If they can close things out 8-4 here, I think Finesse will still feel fairly confident in his abilities as a caller. We don't really know what to expect because the comp's so unusual.
Undersphere is going to use the supplement this though, push through onto the A site. Very explosive. The Hornet is good. Does spot out and reveal a few of these G2 players, but NRG not making a decent go of things here. Trent could get caught, and it's an off angle by Victor. Does find that one. It was a reflank attempt by him. Going to take the first bullet. Drops it back and away. Just waves it at Util, at least with the mollies and the nanoswarms just to stop them. Crashies holding on to it. The Nightfall now going to be used here, and it covers pretty much the entirety of the site with flashes combined. Paranoia. Ethan just trying to take this fight. Valen still locking it down and holding it down. Still, it's a battle with these fights, and it is being won out by NRG. Just tucked into the hell position. The adjustment isn't there. Not from Icy. So a third one now for NRG.
Kind of don't like how the Vandals. I just don't like how
it is tough to play retakes against G2's
it lacks
position as well, because they've got Paranoia,
the flair that I want.
These kind of things to throw out at you. You see how much delay there is for NRG to get into a site, and yet they still prevail, still succeed. The retake style is working here for NRG with this unusual comp. Even after Ethan fell in the 4v4, posted up good team play of Victor and Crashies.
Let's go.
It's going to be one last hurrah here from NRG.
Here.
Dragging together a bit of a buy, only just the one Guardian really. It's the weakest point for them, but they're stacking over towards the A site now. 3 of their players potentially looking for a refight.
Drop in a smoke.
Certainly hoping that G2 were going in that direction. They had the opportunity to haunt and flash through that smoke, and instead Ethan repositions to top garage.
And what's going to be asked of Victor? Drop himself up towards his backside position. Icy, it's an updraft dash. Still isolates that fight onto Finesse and still takes him down. Quick flash, bit of util as well. It's the bait and pivot. It's so hard to get a read on where G2 might be finishing.
Yeah, they've left, but they've inserted Leaf through all of that distraction up top garage. These are these deep lurks that really NRG have no knowledge of. Ethan suspects it could have happened.
Time to jump.
But they don't have confirmation.
I'll handle
this all, hopefully a bit more information for them. So Leaf spotted. See that one. Might be indicating it is going to be that hit over towards C now, and the middle is called with only about 40 seconds on the board. Som out through the back. He's going to try and drop this one and drop the bodies. He will. 2-4. Right beneath his gaze and weapon, just with the Guardian in hand. Hops back up. Plenty more where that came from, and a rip around by Trent. Not enough in the end. Too much to overcome.
That's a really needed recovery for NRG. A4 at the half. If they can win pistol, maybe even if they can't, Finesse will try to lead them from the bottom of the scoreboard to a win here on Haven.
Enemy spotted B.
But they had so many struggles with their composition on this side of the map. Very difficult for Victor to get online with the Clove. Tough for them to get into positions to run this retake style that did in the end work. Hard fought, but they won 4 out of the final 6 rounds.
Well, let's get a quick word up from Jonah P about G2's learnings from Shanghai.
What the fuck?
Say the biggest surprise for us was how bad we start our games. I think 4 out of 5 or 3 out of 4 of our games we've lost the first map, and basically we just always had to make a comeback, which we did. We showed that a lot, but at the same time it's just more pressure and stress added onto us having to do that. So I'll say that was a big surprise for us. Like, Not being used to just like getting destroyed first map and having to dig ourselves out.
And I think that's another reason why people have been underrating G2 a little bit, because there have been these maps, even in their victories, where the team gets destroyed. Wow, Boostio's tweet.
I mean, okay.
Just a perpetual troll.
Still giving it the chat, yeah. Okay.
Of course he is. You're never going to shut Boostio up. Doesn't matter that he's lost the last 2 matches. But I think everybody will have their eyes on what these teams look like heading towards the end of the season. These are your potential playoff opponents. Both of these teams I find it a little challenging to make playoffs. This match,
yeah, they are
very important. There is still a chance that you can go 5-5 and make it into playoffs, you know, but I think that's rough.
He didn't buy it. He doesn't know.
It's not. It's not my cat sweater. I'm sorry. I can't help you there. I can't help you.
Yeah. No, but you're right. It's weird to say as well, because we don't have anything definitive. We can't say, listen, when you get to 6, you've made playoffs in Americas.
Yeah, it's not
still win with a chance if you go 5-5. There's still opportunities. It's weird the way it works with the round robin, but what we do know is that every single win that both of these teams get from this point on will make it that much easier. And for NRG, it does essentially need to be perfect. It will make it much harder if they drop even a single series.
Yes, 6-4 looks like it's the record that we're gonna need for teams to get into playoffs. Now that is not by any means mathematically calculated. It looks that way at the moment.
So Gresson, okay, G2, they're pushing out on the pistol straight through mid. They just spot the top of the head. Fault line is a little bit delayed in the coverage there by Ethan. Swings out, wasn't tagged up by that one, so that's nice by NRG immediately with 2 opening kills going their way, looking to set it in a different tone and direction once more, over towards the C side. Starting to see more evidence as well of that attack side calling from NRG ever since FNS has come back into this roster, into the fold. It's dramatically improved. Don't have the numbers on hand, but you'll have to believe me.
Yeah, it's very evident just based on the eye test. They've looked a lot more comfortable. Valen baited in.
Yeah, just a slight jiggle. There's no way against it! Oh, no! No way!
That's a fumble of epic proportions.
Turn back with the fire here to seize. At least does connect.
That's
Tevers him
unfortunate.
and locks down into the position and place. Still chances to overcome this one for NRG. Quick reload. Trent down onto the 1 HP. No way! You have got to be kidding me. Victor, 47 HP. Time ticking. Up onto the spike. And Trent forces to stick this one, and it gets Victor.
Thank God, man.
Easy kill. Red Bull clutch in the end, and a pistol round win. Necessary stuff for NRG.
Should that one have ever come down to a clutch? I don't think so. You've got setups there that are almost unlosable, and Valen somehow wiggled his way through that duo play. That's really rough from Finesse and Som, the newest additions to NRG.
Right click. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes the Classic is absolutely blessed, but sometimes, you know, you should just be closing that one out. Has it damaged the economy too badly for NRG, though? No. They've gotten away with it a bit there.
Pistol round wins. The money's good, looking to, again, send it over towards C.
Yeah, and I think you're going to see Victor and Som throwing a lot of these on-smoke sites, trying to get into aggressive positions. They need to use their double smoke comp for map control.
It's a fake. Drawn out a bit of that util, even the rotations as well. You can see 4 players now stacked up. G2 side.
And Victor was just holding, waiting to see if anybody was pushing out of garden. So while Valen dominated the attack side in terms of his calling, finding those gaps, once more, I think it bears reiterating that Finesse is known for being an attack side caller. It's normally his teams thrive on that side of the map. And I wouldn't be surprised to see him also have similar levels of success here, where he feels out the stack, has that intuitive read on the game, and leads them towards emptier sites on the other side, as he's doing right now. Pushing things into Leaf, who's only got the Classic and a turret to work with.
Whoa, cool observer.
That Leaf even just taken out as well.
30 seconds.
He's watching for it, a contact push over towards A, so it will be that free plan for NRG. This is where they can get their feet back underneath them.
Absolutely, especially if it's clean and they can take a lot of this weaponry into the bonus round. 2 Bulldogs, a Vandal to work with. If Ethan can push forwards and get the Yoruel online too, you know, you've got so many plays that you can make out the back of that. probably the one that comes to mind the most is having Ethan running around and trying to set up a paranoia off the back of it. So he pops out of his ultimate to face blinded opposition. But I think there's some
G2 on their classic, everyone died a bomb arc.
Think about the interactions with Nightfall and then Ethan coming out of an ult or a gate crash or some teleporting into a weird spot whilst Victor smokes for the exec. Ethan's really trying to get this ult online.
This is the most well-drilled denial of eco kills I've ever seen. I mean, G2 setting up one ways over and over again, stunning him with the fault line.
Oh, well.
But still,
one away, you can absolutely get that orb on the attack side. Now, whether or not NRG want to play in that kind of way, it can end up being a bit predictable. So top-level attack side callers will not always play to their obvious outs.
Wow.
And what a shot that was.
30 seconds left.
I'm not sure if there was an indicator prior or what, but bonus round, we're talking about it. This is the thing that should be getting NRG back into the game. If they manage to convert this one, things will start looking good again.
Not playing over towards C to try to get that orb.
Full shock dart. Trent just trying to
Revealing area.
set the tone over towards the A site. Dart's going to be broken as well. It's a pretty big indicator that there's players that have disrespected the util, especially with the Prowler now being used, and these players over towards the A site.
Will NRG win bonus?
Be
I
jumped
don't
on
know.
pretty quickly. Fault line goes off to the side here. There's a smoke. The paranoia all coming through. TP into the back by Ethan. It's nice. It's clean. The Valen potentially clean, at least with that rifle. Here's the flood. Attempt by Jonah P once more. One more flash available to him, but a reposition doesn't bait themselves in. He's going for that re-swing out wide into the face. Some will eventually drop Jonah P. It's becoming a bit of a problem the way he was weaving in and out, but it's down to that 2 versus 2. NRG still needs to get the spike planted and down. And it's not being covered. So I'm just anticipating they might try and play that one a little bit slower, and they knew exactly where crashes were.
And you know why Crashies isn't covering that? Because they have no info on the flank. Obviously, maybe, you know, if your Sentinel gone down, you can't always cover the flank, but the composition is always going to be worried for NRG about somebody making that big play.
I mean, they got no trip.
A push down mid,
so
a pinch play in the retake.
They have no authentic
but I
trip.
think both teams have played this kind of route really nicely. NRG have clearly got some great ideas of how to get Ethan into good positions. The Gravnet there to
Oh, he's
follow up on
pie?
default.
Oh, that's no good.
But G2 throwing great smokes from Valen to allow those players to anchor the site.
Very
and play
unfortunate.
flank defense. Pleasure to watch teams that understand how to play Haven well.
Yeah, it is. This is just crazy stuff. One-way smoke that's NRG's. Block that deep angle.
Yeah, and also stop anybody from jump spotting. One of the most common ways of gaining C long control is just going to be jump spotting default like that. Some makes it much more difficult. Ethan's ultimate online. They need a win in this round, and it would harm the economy of G2.
Down to that minute mark. Slow and steady from NRG. Trent with the jiggle. Might even overstepped himself, but no, just backs away now. Quite a bit of information going to be gathered just from that.
Pulling out that shorty, it seems to indicate that Ethan wants to go for this fairly soon.
You can see he's very worried about the flank, though. Possibility of it occurring, but time's dwindling. There's a stack from G2. It's all about this util and how well it clears. The positioning of the G2 players. Conventional drift going to be spotting them out. Dart's already going to be used. Grabnet as well. Should be pointing out a lot of these players in the positionings as well. Start the smokes coming down. Sees out through the back. Finally out of the ult and out of the front.
Damn.
For all the G2 players, an attempt to flood in is swatted out of the sky.
And that one is lovely. NRG have certainly been in the lab on these
What the hell just
You
happened?
could see it a little bit in round 15, and they're on perfect display here in round 16. A lineup for Finesse as well to get that deadlock wall really deep over towards CT. That's going to make things difficult for people to flood back in. A Gravnet over towards default. Flashes for them to follow up on. Paranoia goes into hell. A flash that Ethan himself can send out. There's just so much going on for those G2 players to deal with.
That's why we were saying as well, you know, the turn of the second half when it was just looking at 8-4. I wasn't so eager to put the nail in the coffin for NRG. Their attack side calling, and you never really know how much, you know, work they've put in as well with this composition. Sometimes, you know, when teams come out with it, it can be a game of two sides, two halves. Definitely evident here that they have put that work in, I think, just from everything that we've seen so far.
Yeah. And remember, NRG are no strangers to running weird compositions on Haven. They previously ran like a Phoenix double Sentinel composition that saw Victor on Phoenix super attack-sided comp, even though it was running a double Sentinel. Chet is down to cook up some weird stuff at times. And Finesse, in collaboration, really makes it work. Ethan's got 17 kills here across 16 rounds. Now, Leaf has continued to have huge amounts of impact as well, so they've both got players stepping up. But you can see here on the attack side that it's going to be very difficult for Leaf to continue that level of impact against these NRG executes. At some point here, G2 might have to make an adjustment and play more retake kind of style, because this looks tough to hold on.
And hard retakes, or just re-clearing for that space in the mid-round, getting a better idea of where things land.
Now, for anyone who's keeping track at home, yeah, Finesse pied.
Oh, he did? Oh, I missed that.
3 and 14.
Oh, well.
Some would be loving it if he was co-streaming.
Yeah, that's an IGL moment.
But alas, you're here. Yeah, I mean, he's the
You gotta call him out like that.
Still good, and Finesse's calling on the attack side has still been really nice, but he has been struggling.
It's so
to get
eerily quiet. Can you hear my crafting? Perfect.
Is that going to end up making the difference? It's hard to say.
Is this hard read? Upper end of attack timeout, 4-player stack. I mean, you would go for something like this anyway, I think, if you're on the half-by round, but...
We can't.
And here's the question, does Finesse get the read on this?
NRG stacked up with 5 players.
Yeah, I got this. Let me turn this up.
From our point of view, Prowler doesn't spot anything. Default line to punish. Are they going to be ready? It's Icy with the rifle. Here's the one with the real danger into this one, but
oh,
trying to get out of there. Pulls out the knife. NRG might just try and go for this one. Potential is there, at least with the smoke in their face. Second thoughts creeping in. Prowler through and around. Oh, down at their own, actually just landed itself. Yeah, it landed right into the body. How to get taken care of. And chipped it down. Mortis Util is flying forwards, and Leaf has gone walkabouts into mid. A lot of mid-round information going to be granted to him. There is that rotation call by NRG. He's going to hear the footsteps.
There's no way.
Oh, but he might just open himself up to it. This is a dangerous position to be in.
He's wondering where to go. Yeah. Thinking about going back over towards mid there. Decides to get out on A. Makes it a bit tough for NRG. They got spotted real early on there because of Leaf.
No way! What is that? Damage being done just absolutely skewers them. Down for away long. Finesse needs to win this fight out, but the rifle's been handed over. Jonah P with that in his hands. Top was the IGL, and this is a disaster right now for NRG. Victor left alone in a 1v4.
Why isn't Demon 1 playing? He's not on the team anymore.
Out wide though, Jonah P. I'm expecting that one with the forward face. Still the dart flies over and time is running against him. Victor, he's got no choice now but to try and stick this plant. And the bodies are going to swarm.
Or is he benched or not on the team? It's one of the two.
Bit of patience being played just from that smoke, but he misses the timing. One to the back of the head will do it. So G2, on a half-by round. Very clear ideas of how they wanted to play that.
Leaf is taking liberties here. He is loving playing against this NRG composition that can't control flanks. We've got to see it in the replay. I don't blame the observers for missing it because you don't expect that.
You don't
Damn!
expect that.
Who shoots like that?
But both through the wall as well. I mean, that couldn't get any better for Leaf in that kind of position. But how does he get into that spot?
Just got benched?
NRG forced to stall out against the stack over towards C, and Leaf reads the game and knows that he can just walk down mid.
It begins.
I think NRG might need somebody covering the flanks, but that's going to weaken their exec.
Yeah. One less player for it. For the full committal. Victor is the one who's just trying to hold this. There's a dart.
I just don't think he's a good fit. He's not a good fit for the team. That's how it is.
To the punish there, just in case there were more players backing him. Everybody else from NRG looking to set their sights over towards the C side. It's a grab net, TP committal.
I just want teams to pick deadlock and win.
Now utilized by G2. This will clear out most of the sites. Spike still not planted. FNS now
maybe asking for too much.
It's not good. Is he going to be able to get
what's going on here? Annihilation off into the corner. I mean, he is stuck here, surely detained. He did get the one reeled in. They have to break that one. Got the time to do so. Still safe for it. Up through mid. Victor seeking to find it. This is getting sloppy. It's getting a bit messy. A tap onto it. Counter spam. And now with a Hunter's Fury. Trent. Pretty predictable positioning going to be played by a lot of these NRG players. And they are being down, cleaved down.
Defuse the spike.
Bit of a gap in the protocol there for NRG. They should have been able to get the plant down way earlier on. A wasted ultimate as well from Finesse. Threw it out just to avoid himself being punished. But that's the kind of ult that you would love to have if things go down to the clutch there. Annihilation on a player defusing, that's looking great. And instead forced to use it early on, and the rest of G2 takes site control easily off the back of Leaf's lockdown. Every round you can point to impact that Leaf is having. Whether it's something to do with his ultimate here, whether it's something to do with a push that he's got down mid and a ridiculous Kalat kill in A lobby, or whether it's his crazy lurks on the attack side, he's been an absolute nightmare finding the gaps and the pain points for NRG.
Sitting at 22-9. I mean, top of the scoreboard. He stormed it, man. Right there, tippity top for G2. As he's known to do, honestly, he can take over games on the Killjoy.
He can, he certainly can. And I thought it would be getting more and more difficult for Leaf, because you really can't hold on as a Killjoy against what NRG are throwing out in their executes. But he's found these moments, you know, in a retake scenario, or when things get quiet in a mid-round. He's not so much getting this value by anchoring, he's getting the value by finding timings against NRG, by being active. So the timeout finishes. NRG now 4 behind. And Victor has picked up the Glass Cannon Vandal, trying to make value out of Clove's ult.
Here.
It's looking like a B-pop called for Finesse. And what is this read again from G2?
Here.
The hell are they?
What
What are they doing?
In the right spots, at least to begin the round.
That's high-low B.
Yeah, Valen's practically in the comms, man. Certainly inside his head. 3-player stack just in case. Deep smoke, but obviously the
he's over that front smoke. Interesting.
It's a jump spot.
Good spot.
Diligence is at least there for FNS.
You see how Leaf's utility here is giving them garage information. And that allows players to stack in other positions. That's the biggest value of getting info passively, is that your players don't have to be watching it. They can play crossfires and stack other areas, make those spots stronger. It's a slow pace beginning to the
Triple
round.
walk down mid.
And G2 now incentivized to push down mid.
Calling for re-clear. This player's watching. At least Victor to contain. Plenty more where that came from as well. NRG might be even willing and eager to take this fight here. Could be the difference maker. Dash doesn't get Icy out of dodge. Victor has to pop off that ult now, but now needs to hunt down for at least a kill or a damage and assist. Get back into the action, and Frey, Trent spraying him down. Blinded up though, Valen forced to back.
Victor's, you know,
connects, TP to disengage.
I don't know.
30 seconds left.
Not willing to take that fight into B. Straight over towards A now. Full rotations. A lot to clear though, in the position that they're in, but they do have that player advantage. Trent. Pushed up onto that high ground.
Oh, that's
getting the reload off. 12 seconds. Tapping away. Not covered. The reactions. Everybody's falling. And some of the Ken to do it all in that 1v1. With G2 now up to 12. It's a single round that'll do it for them. They've been in complete control.
I didn't realize, I genuinely hadn't understood how personally Leaf took not making Tokyo last year. He's 25 kills, 3K in that round as well. Trent also doing a huge job from A heaven there, getting one and a huge amount of damage onto Finesse, but Leaf is dominant here today, finding outsized impact. And look at Jonah P there, putting that down, still with the triple stack over towards the B site.
I mean, this is a crazy committal by Trent. While all this is happening as well and all that pressure gets applied and Trent's absorbing it and calming it, Leaf's going walkabouts. This guy, he's unleashed.
It's your fear!
He's got such a great read on the game.
And Nightfall comes in from the side at least. Trent's going to be deafened. Be able to hear too much coming for him. Now with the util out and open. Spray transfer not able to be hit. Trent again. This guy cannot be removed, and this is it, the turning point for the map. It's NRG who have to really just grapple onto any chance, any hope, but it's all being denied, all being ripped away from them. The Blade Storms for the final finish and the final blow. G2. There were definite chances for NRG, don't get me wrong, but that was a masterclass, beginning to end for G2.
It certainly was. They
Nice.
opened it up
Good job,
spectacularly.
prediction.
Had NRG
I
on
want
the back
people to
foot
gamble
right from
because
the
I love
beginning.
gambling.
And despite the fact that the middle of this map got tense, and
What is it, map
competitive,
2 now?
G2
And then
closed it out with
G2.
more
I don't know what the
phenomenal
fucking-
performances from Leaf and from Trent.
I
You're
don't know
completely
what the
correct,
maps are,
especially in those final two
so-
rounds. Ridiculous the way
can't
that
help
G2
you.
were able to pivot, adapt, and overcome against NRG. And such an unusual, unique comp that they brought out to play with here.
Battle of the Minds here. I mean, it really did live up to that potential and expectations that we had. We're going to be stepping away. Geek Heavy in the analyst desk, of course, going to be breaking it all down. Map number 1, don't go anywhere.
Every time I needed a new phone, I had to switch carriers.
I told him, at Verizon, everyone can get the best deals. Like that iPhone 15 on them.
Switching all the time, it wasn't easy.
35. You're gonna be here forever.
I know.
Here's your wireless contract.
Do I need a lawyer for this? Those were hard days.
Representative switch.
Now that I got a huge storage and battery upgrade, I'm officially done switching.
New and existing customers get iPhone 15 on us when they trade in any iPhone, any condition, guaranteed.
I really wish you told me sooner.
I did.
Red Bull. Oh shit! Way too early. I'm not even gonna try anymore. My mind isn't in the game. I gotta keep trying. I'm busy. I got other things to focus on right now. Want to hop in? I mean, it's up to you. You want to, you can. How much XP do I need for this? Just buy 20.
Alexa, good morning.
Buy some.
Every morning it comes to life. It can make things disappear.
Someone is at the front door.
And it can't show things. It's amazing. You want to trade?
I need
Truth exists, and what is done cannot be undone.
Freedom is
Are these official sponsors? No, I don't know. These are Twitch sponsors. Or Twitch ads.
Big brother, greetings from 1984.
Twitch? Oh, Val.
.9% APR for 60 months, plus 500 bonus cash. See your SoCal Hyundai dealer.
Oh, here we go. We're back. Why are people betting on NRG after FNS? I mean, it is a map. It doesn't mean it's like they're bad forever now. Also, it looks like it's only one person that bet NRG. They bet that, you know, one person's the one that influenced those odds. You can listen to crafting noises for a bit. We're coming back.
Fast together, combined, and that is OT. To take a step, Valid forwards, just cleans both of them up.
Watch last map. I mean, they played Deadlock on Haven.
RT of G2, stealing NRG's classic Haven
And,
away from them. Beautifully done. I'm gonna ask you kind of a success-based question, if you will. I'm
Finesse
very curious
pied.
as to why you didn't
Without there was
to a
that.
different duelist, considering we're in kind of this new duelist meta.
Well, we did experiment with Neon, and I wasn't happy with the one less stun that make it more.
What's up,
that made Neon
gamers?
so useful
We're here to
before,
rep my
despite the
favorites.
fast rotations and whatnot. So
Content.
we thought, like, Jet gives more
And
consistent
I got a
value, and
streamer.
might as well just keep
Som.
Jet.
Well, best of luck on map 2.
Welcome back, everyone. So NRG definitely had a bit of a slow start on the defense side, and honestly, I'm kind of curious, Andrew, do we think it might be attributed to the comp that they had?
Hold on, do I have?
I think a lot of people are
Oh,
going
there
to
you go.
flame the
Orange.
comp, but I
I
just want to say
remember
that
I
it
said
has
that.
merit, and I liked a lot of
Perfect.
the ideas they had. That being said, it's very hard to make the comp work. The main thing that you'd see on defense was them throwing double early smokes, especially on that mid window, to try to take early control, but they were losing those fights early to G2. And then after that, they have to be able to control a lot of those
It's going
lanes, but
great.
using deadlock
I'm
utility.
playing
So they lose
my
that player in
games,
mid,
and you know,
Finesse throws down his
Huge
util
is
here, stalls it out
starting
over towards
too,
the A
I
side.
think.
But as soon as G2
He got
freezes
recruited
over,
by his
just look,
friend.
there's no passive info
No.
anywhere on the map for NRG.
But the problem is he got recruited, you know, during the wrong time because he can't join any server.
Into that space, but this is kind of the
Yeah.
nature of how the
He
comp
can't
plays
make
out.
any
When you have
characters.
passive info, you
Queues
have
are
to go
incredibly good on
actively
EU
seek
right now.
out information, and Valen
Yeah,
was
the
calling
problem
very
is
well
that you're not even
we saw
allowed
in the
to make
second half more
characters
the
on any
value
of
from
these
that club,
servers
right?
right
Having
now,
multiple
so.
smokes for your site
So
head,
who
being
just,
able
like,
to kind
stalled?
of branch that off, but that Cypher not having it on the defense really, I think hurt them there.
I just want to get all
Especially
my
with
crafting
really
and
having that
gathering to
fade
100 by the end
re-clear
of the week,
space without
which is
having
very
to
easy
send
to
someone
do.
in.
It's
And
just
just a couple of rounds
making
later,
sure I
we
do
can
it.
watch that one too, because
And A's completely closed.
NRG
I mean,
called the
just
time
come
out,
to Europe,
shifted their
which
place.
my
They
server's
stopped
open.
playing so much for
For some reason, surprisingly.
Down C long, they're creeping up.
Yes,
For A lobby
play
control,
on
they got
Europe.
early kill. It's a 4 versus 5, but it gaps their mid.
You can't. You can
NRG
ping cope on
could
Europe,
not
but
answer Leaf. I
you
love
know,
the way Leaf found himself inserted
not
up
really
here
a
in
problem.
window and then kept farming Myrna.
I feel like the thing about Leaf is that he acknowledged that there was
That's-
sort
that's
of this fake
Why is every single NA server closed?
Because
Except Dynamis.
super populated right now.
This is his map, and both attack
And releases
defense,
tomorrow.
he felt
Official
like he had
release
the
is also
freedom
tomorrow.
to kind of walk up, take those kills. The only reason why he was kind of able
I still
to
need
get
to
out
input my
Sheriff
code.
pull out
I
too. He just
haven't yet.
all the way
You
through
should do that.
it.
Today.
don't
I would
have
also
it. I don't even
recommend
have
For
it.
G2 on their attacking side
you know,
too, I
being
think the slow
just staying in the
pace they like
game
to play when they're focused
tomorrow.
on the mid round, as Valen almost always is, played
that's
really
gonna be
well
fine.
into this deadlock Yoru comp. They were timing out.
I actually need to get out of the main
which cut
hub
off
because
these
it's too
fast
crowded right
rotations.
now.
They were timing out those deadlock walls, and I think they did a really good job of selling
He must
so
be
many fakes
crazy.
at the right time that forced
I
NRG to
am
play
bi, yes.
retake where their comp struggled.
Yeah, they found all the gaps.
Yeah, well, you know what? Let's see what the NRG
Because
coach
there's
has
a
to say
good amount of
before we
people
head on
in
over to
EU
map
too,
2.
right? It's just not that crazy.
Here
I
was
think
Chet
the
from
temporary
NRG
DC
losing
helped a
your
lot.
map pick, but we had a very exciting comp from you
I
guys.
don't know if
It was
it's
surprising, it was
temporary.
exciting. Despite the result, what was the purpose
I
of
mean,
that
it's
comp, and do you think you
probationary,
guys
right?
achieved that
They
today?
might open it
Well,
to
defense, we felt like we had a lot of
a
good
character
stalling
creation
on all the
but at
characters,
this moment you can only
except for maybe
be
Clove,
visit. You can't do
and
anything else.
We like that the
Ah,
fact that
that's
the Clove can
interesting.
kind of be a little aggressive.
I
but maybe in
mean,
this game
I'm sure it'll
too
be
much,
permanent.
and that kind of like
maybe.
made our defense
I guess
a little
sure
bit
is probably
harder,
not the right
there was more
word.
gaps. So maybe we had to tone it down just a slight bit, but I mean,
It's certainly a
purpose-wise, we
good
did
idea,
stall
no?
them a lot. We just kind of let them play their
Backstory:
gaps a lot. and
my
we didn't,
friends
like,
picked
re-clear as
this
much as we
server
should've.
for me. I mean,
look
it
them
was
up, too.
it was a toss up between Cactar and Genova, and I'm like, I've never really
I mean,
played
that's really
Final
interesting to
Fantasy
hear.
games.
So,
I played
so this comp, I
Final
think you even
Fantasy
said this, Andrew,
Tactics
this comp
before I
can
started
work.
playing
think,
14.
NRG just
It's like
maybe
the only
weren't
game I ever played was
utilizing it
Final
to its
Fantasy
full
Tactics.
capacity.
I mean, it's hard.
I was like, I don't
especially
really
the-
know
the
what these
real
things are,
problem on
but
defense
I'm
with
sure
this
someone
comp
can let
is
me
if you
know.
ever lose a player,
I know, like, it's gotta be
you
Genova
can't control
because,
all the lanes
you know,
that attackers could get
7.
into. If
I
you
have no
five
idea what the
people
hell you guys are
alive,
talking
you
about,
can
but
post up,
I'm
you
all
can use
for
your
it.
fade util and have a good
But
time
ever
with
since
it.
then, I've
But
played
with your Clove is
played
dying early, like in the round
4
saw where they're stepping onto mid and
5,
falling, all
6,
of a sudden you have to step forward
7,
in your
not
group total
8,
packs, and it just wasn't
not
gonna go.
9,
Again,
although,
I
you
think people are
know,
gonna
maybe I will
overfixate
because
on
of
the
this.
composition is the biggest issue. I think it's actually really
10,
hard to do what G2 did. Playing
not
that slow
11,
pace, the amount of fakes
played
they were
12,
actually pulling
played
off
13,
and finding those gaps so
15, and
consistently.
16.
Leaf, especially who
I have
you
not
were
played
talking
1,
about. Yeah, I think
2,
did so much of that on those looks. It was crazy
8 and 9.
Yeah, even
Although
on the
people tell me
defense side, they
8's
switched
not
up
really
their
good
setup to
anyways,
kind of
so
properly play
I
that
guess I don't
retake.
really care
And the
about
reason
not
being
playing 8.
because they have so much more util
It
over
depends.
this comp. And
I mean,
that is
if
what
you
they
like
kind of just
tactics,
had.
you probably
And they
don't like
kind
8.
of understood that, but now
Well,
Tactics
even
is
my
the game that plays itself after a while.
Even my friends who love all the games in the series, okay, it was either they said not to play 8 or 9. I think it was 8 they said not to play. If that or 9. I'm pretty sure it was 8. And they love like all like these are
I'm just curious to
crazy
see
fans
what
of
NRG is cooking
the
up
series
on
as
this.
a whole. They've played like every game. They said 8's the worst one.
On Haven, do we think they're going to
Well,
bring
alright.
something new, or are they going to stick to something
to
like more
know.
tried and true, so that they can actually get a win?
I mean, genuinely, I think a Yoru is very much on the table for them. I also
streaming on
would
YouTube.
say, in my opinion,
Oh, they are.
Deadlock
I will
is our
say
best map
it is a
fine.
great,
So if they wanted
great
to run some
experience
Deadlock,
playing 4, 5, and 6
send
though.
that in
I
there,
think anyone
this is
that
a map where you can
is a
get
fan
away
of
with that.
JRPGs would enjoy
But
4, 5, and
it's also
6.
a lot of teams just
Those are
stick
great
to the-
games,
to the
especially
raids and
because they
tried
have the
and true.
pixel
So it's a very
remaster.
hard one to call.
Yeah, I think it's also tough if you want to get that deadlock in, considering what you're going to be giving up. Normally, you're going to be playing like the Brim solo.
You're playing solo smokes.
Also, I only opened up chat so people can gamble, earn points and gamble. If you're not gambling, you don't deserve to be here.
Going to be really strong. NRG though, they were historically really good on this.
Do you want a
map.
nice fun fact on Hunt, specifically as ranks?
Especially that we saw actually
Sure.
come alive
I don't really know
towards the
anything
end
about
of
the hunts
Haven.
yet.
Is one of the strengths here.
I'm kind of
for
trying to
sure.
learn
They're
information
just
as I
really
go. Right now I'm doing
active and
crafting, then I'll
can
defense.
be extremely
But
proactive when they need to be, and I feel like that's why the previous comp
what's the deal?
kind of
So,
made sense.
you know,
but going into this
essential bring is if you kill an
next
S rank,
grind, I'm
it's possible
kind
that
of expecting to see G2
SS
play
rank
first
spawns.
because we did just hear in
If
the
you get
interview where they were like, we
right?
tried a bunch
Sure.
of different duelists and it didn't really work.
In Dawn
So
Trap,
I'm just kind of expecting to see that. going on.
1/3 of all rank spawns have been on my data center. Like from the 10 data centers, 11, 12, whatever that exist, a third of all spawns were on this one because we just got incredibly lucky. We got like 5 of them in a row.
Very
Like they killed it. Another one spawned in a different region. They were like, "Oh, let's head over there." It spawned again.
Oh, I gotta go get my rolls from the hunt
Slower
server.
are invaluable. A on your executes and B on your retakes.
Hunt
to
server.
stop
Do
people
you
from
use
flooding
Falup on your
forward
server?
angle.
Not just that, you
What,
can
use
throw
what?
slows on B long, so you
Do
can
you
get sky
like
flashes
is
swung
Falup the
into
main
on those corners.
information
It's a
source
very
on
versatile agent.
Chernobyl?
But I feel like it kind
Or
of
the
goes
data
against
center rather?
what
I have
NRG
no
is kind
idea.
of known for, playing a little
I
bit
don't
more
really
proactive, a little
follow
more active playstyle. I mean,
data
Ethan's on the stage,
at
so
all.
I
I
do
just
think
kind
we're
of
gonna
like
look at a battle
have
stage
other
kind
people
of
tell me
operating
what
on
to
top of the wall, but I don't know
follow to get
exactly
my
how I'm feeling
information
about it.
from.
G2's on their classic
I am raid brain. That's really all I do. I come in, I raid, and then if things are happening, someone will tell
This
me.
is a comfortable place to close the series.
Well, you know what? Let's find out if NRG
Yeah,
can
we
bounce back
just
and
at some
send
point we got
things over
bored
to map
between
3. Once
raids.
again, here's Bryn and
So we just started spawning stuff. And we stuck with
NRG
it.
would love to bounce back. G2, of course. Exact same.
All right.
I
just
they'd love to
spend
close it out
4
with the
or
amount of
5
history
hours
between both of these teams.
raiding.
We've been
That's
alluding
it.
to it at Reykjavik. It was almost, at the time, the narratives, the storylines, we were talking about the passing of the torch.
Let's
I
take a
suppose.
look.
There's
Bind,
old, grizzled core of
NRG.
NRG with
See what G2
Finesse
suck up
leading
bind
it.
or
They had
what?
a bit of a
What was that
rivalry
one?
with the young up-and-comers, right? With Valen at the time. Way
Yep.
back.
Absolutely.
One of the initial Reykjavik events. And, since then, they actually parted ways. With FNS retiring, Valen playing in, Ascension, actually finally earning the spot, they didn't really think that this fated day would come where there was that chance of revenge to continue that storyline that really was just settled down all those years ago.
It was interesting a couple of years ago, too. Valen's team bombing out of that event as the #1 seed from NA, while Finesse's team won the event
Close the pred.
as the #2 seed.
Oh, hold on.
from
I gotta
NA.
do the thing. Where is it?
G2 with the
Here it
lead
is.
here.
Attention all shoppers, the prediction
Another slow pistol round trying to feel out what the defensive setup is.
Victor is going to be inserted here. I mean, that adjustment by Trent. What? Surely should have been a free kill for Som. Ridiculous.
Really fun not being able to hear that in West.
On Valen when
Is that a good
Finesse
or
and
bad
Som
thing?
had the crossfire set up.
I don't know.
You got to be delivering on the freebies. G2 are not going to give you many.
Contact. Victor, I believe, taking it here. It's
All
going to be
right.
triggering that flash.
Let's see what's
Potentially
next.
the team
I guess
blind, yet
I'll do
still.
Alchemist
I
next.
mean, that's a kill that Icy gets.
Another freebie missed. They should have had the punish onto Trent, and they should have made sure that Icy could not go 1-on-1 in that spot.
Interesting strategy from NRG. Not sure if it's what I would have done, but then again, I'm not a pro player.
Positioning, but as soon as they hear the flash, Ethan make his way over towards the A side now, trying to play up inside FNS.
Team flashing.
Now holding on to that backside control.
Oh yeah, how far ahead is my stream?
The bomb is down. I can't really tell you the timer, so I'll wait till next round.
Yeah.
Set the stage nicely here for Ethan. No one really acknowledging that could be a possibility. Still one man taken front and center. 2v2 now. Be scared of potential for the wrap around here.
Oh, you're watching it Twitch, right? Yeah, I'm far behind you.
Tapping with the ghost eventually. There with the kill.
And with how close that comes to, and at the very end,
alright, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21,
it's so tough to
20.
Think of,
well, I'm doing
yeah, I don't know, I'm far behind you because of these
situations like this. It seems fairly cut and dry to me. G2 have just robbed them. So frustrating from Victor. He had so many early deaths there on Haven that were putting his team at disadvantaged spots. You heard Chet talk about it, or at least allude to it. Didn't want to call out Victor directly, of course. But starts out with a couple kills, couldn't win the clutch.
Big acknowledgement there from Crashies.
Scout destroyed.
G2 are no slouches on this map. It was their map pick for a reason. Look at some very good teams on this one. It's a very disrespectful reflank, but honestly necessary from FNS.
Yeah, both of these comps, and to be honest, most comps that teams are playing on Bind right now are not going to have a Sentinel to watch the flank. So all of those things that we were talking about on Haven, they can apply here as well. But teams are normally more wary of them because
we should be about even now.
Nice.
Leaf with a deep lurk out through showers, so his team were aware that was a free option. Gecko fight.
Massive, but we do have a lot of people betting today, huh?
Ridiculous by Trent. Round 2. Still going to be absorbing these players off onto the flank.
Yeah, that is a lot of huge bucks on the line.
Expecting that.
Been quite a while since I've that many.
So might as well take an attempt at it.
And they can hear Crashies running away. NRG here.
I don't know, Robin. At some point I feel like Zendi kind of contributed his entire balance to pretty much everyone.
Just saving like that, I suppose.
A little bundle ad. Yeah, exactly.
You're directly responsible for these bucks. I don't think I would have run the prediction if I wasn't streaming, so I think I'm directly responsible for it.
I mean, yeah, that as well.
Willing to let the ults keep generating.
I think
War machine rumbling.
Straight up.
Like you mentioned, Trent's already built himself up to that thrash. You can use that in a multitude of ways, honestly.
Very versatile. We
totally could have ran a prediction. I don't think you would have gotten the same turnout.
Picking up the operator.
I guess is my.
I mean, that's interesting thing to propose. Why not?
Oh, they're showing off the gun.
It does get.
What the hell?
But yeah, look at this
self-advertisement.
Sage pick is a little unusual, but we have seen plenty of teams run it in the past on Bind with almost exactly the same comp. Holding contact here, this is the kind of spot
so anyways, Twitch Prime.
Sometimes Jonah P are going to be facing.
You're going to catch the swing. Jump spot doesn't bait the shot, Ethan. Trouble is, was the info given?
Yeah, I'm not even sure. That was a very shallow jump peak from Jonah P. I don't know whether he spotted the fact that Ethan is there with the op. It may have just come up as a question mark.
Don't forget to prime. Oh wait, sorry. If you're having a good time, don't forget to prime. Any Oilers in chat?
The timing could not be better. Som has to make a
You
play.
need to post huge streams. Yeah, like post. Who are these two fruits? Well, I, the dragon fruit, am a
was a little bit of a weakness in terms
moderator
of
for Hood. I make sure the server is running smoothly, but I'm not really I don't really do content. That's pen flash, the pair, or the pen, but I think he's just using the pair.
That's the value that Trent gets.
And then we got the orange, which technically is not Dunkel's choice, but we want it to be fruit themed.
Really nice plan around it. They've been doing a lot of this where they're pressuring. I mean, I say a lot of it. We're only 3 rounds
Dunkel and Dunkel 2
are starting to condition that when
if I could draw, I would.
They can instantly pivot through that teleport.
I just pay people to draw for me.
And the thrash there.
Much easier that way.
I would, but Still
NRG are safe. Oh shit, 0-3 is Jover.
Site where he might have had a chance of surviving. G2 pick a freebie up, to be honest with you.
Yeah, odd toast. NRG kind of wants to run out picks, I feel. I'm not sure what exactly their game plan is. It's certainly odd. And it wasn't terrible last game, but it also didn't work too well.
Art for these avatars. Well, one is a friend of mine, because I actually am friends with a surprisingly large quantity of artists.
A bit of a buy, bit of a purchase.
Like a lot of them. So I have one of them who I thought would fit draw this one for me. And then I believe this orange is either drawn by Nuda Buddha, which typically is either or Lily Pichu. I do not remember if this is a Lily Pichu one or if it's just a standard Nuda Buddha one.
Good adaptation as well in terms of where he was
honestly, like I'll have to go back and check. It's been too long.
Same Neon. I just really don't know why I have a drawing tablet, but I got that to play O2, so it doesn't really help me in that regard.
Have 3 players A. You're just not worried about long.
Is it Lily Pichu? It's probably a Lily Pichu.
Simplify the process in terms of playing a map. Whenever you see a Sage being played,
I played normals with Lily Pichu once. We were trying to level up her count.
Time to pop some heads.
Oh, I haven't done that in so long, though.
Up in his face
It's actually been forever. I could check what rank I got.
Now they want to go explosives, a flash. Then they
over
towards the top, good adjustment by Crashies. He wants to get it active, pressing the advantage.
What? That's a
Wide to the
scam.
anti-flash play, and Jonah P, of course, he's going to oblige.
That's a really bold play to go for. Can't imagine that one getting value very often. Put so much stress and strain on Ethan and Finesse to do this. Finesse, his fragging has not been great so far this match, and Ethan, he's got an
I don't have a ranking anymore, right? Got deleted.
It would require something pretty huge. There we go. Ethan at least gets a Guardian back to work with.
Maybe it's a possibility, but still the util's running short. Vulnerable. This one a snake bite, rebounds perfectly.
I feel like a lot of people just have a drawing tablet to play O2 and not draw. I don't even want to know how much money Wacom made just by selling drawing tablets to O2 players.
Familiar scenes to the first map.
I'm sure they made a lot of money during the pandemic as well.
Take that really.
Oh yeah, definitely.
They were 6-0 up on Haven, and honestly, it looks like it's about to be the same here again on Bind. Despite the fact that Ethan gets the first pick, I'm just so surprised at this from Crashies. Genuinely.
Look at that.
It's odd, right?
A solo Sky Flash in that position is almost never going to be able to blind enough people for you to get a 2K on the people holding the crossfire. It seems very rushed. He's the sole initiator. Maybe he just felt like he had to make a play.
Hooch is gonna play 14. Is he gonna?
Oh my God!
Variety stream it?
Instantaneous onto the line, and as well, Ethan wants to never go at things. Looking like he wanted to square up to the challenge, but I'll respect it.
Certainly.
That is a lot of utility sent flying.
It does feel to some degree like we've wound the clock back to 2022. Trent's absolute peak of when he was popping off, putting his name on the map.
Opening the roundup with the setup to a bad joke. Wingman, a boombot, and a Prowler, well, not a Prowler, a Trailblazer. I beefed it.
Walk into a bar.
Exactly, walk into showers. You can groan at that. That wasn't good.
I mean, yeah, Robin, I think everyone does that.
Yeah, neither do I.
To a point, to a degree.
Push from him. Might be able to get some. No!
For me, being tired really accelerates the process.
Scenario. I mean, that just sums
like, I'm tired and suddenly I write stuff that does not make sense anymore.
It's another spot where Finesse should be able to get value. Someone on NRG should have a freebie on G2, especially Leaf. Overcoming the odds and out-delivering.
This flank immediately being responded by G2. They want to double up here. Flash way ahead of it. Not with the guns. They can't really obtain too much more. Stinger! What is that by Trent?
How does he hit that?
I have no idea. It's in mid-air. I mean, Ethan, though, it's made it a chance. And a slim one at that when Icy's holding on to this showstopper. Again, G2 making sure that they can double up. So Wall to try and at least get himself into the position. Drop down. Spots a one. The satchel. Push them up and away. 42 health. One single bullet. It's all it's going to take here. This position is running rings around them still, G2.
I never played RuneScape, neither current one nor old school one. but for some reason I watched a lot of RuneScape content. Like I watched the entirety of Tileman series, I think thrice at this point.
Another really important round for NRG to start getting something back. Finesse is trying to find these timings. Looking at the success that Leaf had, I mean, what is the final possible bullet that Trent could have fired? But reactions like that just indicate how little pressure that the G2 players are feeling in these kind of spots. They're running away with it. They're feeling calm and casual about things. Happy to, you know, do the co-streamer pog face at the same time as playing the match.
Yeah. Slap on a thumbnail.
Exactly.
Call it a day. Timeout. Oh, again.
Yeah, I mean, not again.
Not again.
I mean, showing the plushies was important, but in my opinion, there's still not enough plushies
NRG, though,
on stage at VCT.
The vibes in that camp won't
need more plushies.
They should just scatter them around the center.
NRG are struggling to get anything going. Ethan did find that good
no reason not
the
to.
operator over towards B long, but you can't just keep running that over and over again. At some point, G2 are going to figure it out. You feel like you have to be working the map a little bit more, but it's really quite difficult for Ethan to get on enough unusual angles while playing Sage with the AWP. And also, a lot of the time on the defense side, you're going to want to wall something off early round. Like, you're going to want to push into showers, wall that off, and then you're not set up early round with the AWP. So, it can work, but I think it's tough, and that's exactly what we were talking about with NRG's comp and ideas on Haven. It definitely can work, but it is so difficult to pull off.
And the way that G2 play, force your opponents to stew. A lot of early showers control is given up, of course.
There's 0-5.
Just next to him.
I think it's over already.
Trailblazer gone.
Yes, probably is, yeah. I mean, I'm still glad.
Past, trying to make the most of this fuel
timing. I wouldn't mind if it was as crazy as last time we watched party one of G2's games. Because that was honestly incredible what they pulled off. But I don't think it's going to happen against NRG. This looks way too solid from G2.
Exact same instance. I mean,
unless they suddenly like drop the ball on defense, but honestly for G2 I don't see that happening.
On the attack side, heavy
this is absurd.
There's fights all over the place.
And Victor's not expecting this. Why would you?
One in spawn, one in market.
And look at the position of Trent. I mean, it's an off angle. They're not overextending. They know that they lost showers control the whole time. It could have been pushed out deep. And as the wall drops down, it gives it the, I mean, most perfect timing. Couldn't ask for anything better. Ball being covered. Finesse.
Yeah.
Even with the whiff.
Even with the whiff.
How many T2s did you give away, Robin?
Valen has just run rings around NRG in this round.
His calling is, yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous.
It's beautiful the way that he's playing these slow moments. A freebie for Crashies towards the end. But these are, again, just meaningless finishes to what is dominance at the start of these maps. G2 with another 6-0 lead. Exactly the same in both maps. And NRG struggle on defense once more. That's so nicely orchestrated though. The lamps control and then the rotate over. Hearing Victor run away and absorbing all of that space again.
Yeah.
Leaf looking to try to play more aggressive on the low.
Don't expect them to insert somebody in your spawn.
Yeah, but at the same time, NRG
asking what old school RuneScape is about is honestly a bold move. I know a lot of people that just like 14 would jump out at you to desperately get you to play it.
The wall just about blocks it. Demolished in the process, but they've all just tried to walk right into the stack. Shows up of his own, over to strike. Why not upload the whole war chest? Can they still get the kills? Yes, they will with the guns in the hand.
Right there.
Needed to be a turning point for NRG. Perhaps it's this one here. Still two players though, G2.
Right there.
They'll be willing to put up a fight. Plenty of money left in the back pocket. Don't care about losing the guns.
I think
and the fast pace at the beginning of the round
RuneScape transcends time.
NRG
But I wouldn't worry about it too much.
At this spot, you are not taking a very good fight here with a frenzy. If he was
They had really good
jumping though.
top deck.
Just can't land it.
If you saw it, with all the different dies.
Position. G2 though do not know that B is completely open. nevertheless, they take all of the space really quickly.
It's rapid.
30 seconds left.
Making that read based off where Finesse was playing, that no one would be on site behind him.
Seekers are going to be used, going to clear out most of it. G2, the emphasis is on them. They have to make the play here to double hold onto the elbow angle to flash to try and set him up, but everybody's tucked away to the side. Jonah P, and through the back now, a Trailblazer. It's an abundance of util. It's all going to be clearing them through, but spammed out, even anticipating that re-peek and re-face. Finally, it's NRG. Needed to be a win with the amount that they invested into it. It finally is one, at least on the board.
They used
they managed to win a round. Only took
Seekers to be able to set up that final play towards the end as well on the retake.
Damn.
It's a win for NRG, but it's so expensive. And it also comes off the back of G2 playing a more aggressive, fast-paced push down short that NRG have got protocols to deal with. And I think Valen's just going to go immediately back to the slower pace. So, as is the case so often, there's a round win on the board, yes. You get a tick in the column there. But is it replicable? It all comes down to the way that G2 play.
Just that fast play getting punished, right?
Exactly. And an enormous war chest of ultimates being expended. Now, Finesse has moved his Viper orb over towards B long. He's been doing this for the last few rounds.
War chest, so certainly one way to...
They do have more defense in this kind of area of the map to deal with G2 taking space.
I guess.
He was previously putting it at default over towards A.
I got the spike.
Just going to go down now, just double hold. One is that, catches onto both of them. They're all blinded up. There's anything. Coop all over the place. Molly had to be dropped down. No one's facing this. FNS covers. Has to be that level to it. Order strike. It's committed. Just to buy them that space back. And he's regaining the spike here in a drop down though. A lot of noise being made. Jonah P might even pre-aim this.
I kind of I don't hope he does. But
this is getting scrappy. And a pop flash play.
Certainly not a good omen.
It's covered, Ethan. Re-swinging out there, in for the smoke though, Leaf. It's a fox in the pen, finally Ethan lands a shot and cleans him up, and the adjustment is
the crowd's so happy. I get it, I don't blame them.
I don't want to stop either. It's not fun.
But I think the real
no, I mean I want last week's game, right? Absolutely crazy G2 plays to win it in the end.
Actually, from Finesse in these kind of positions. Two on the board. Can they bring this back to a serviceable defense half? Ethan's putting the op into another unexpected position there.
The hell is this?
Cheeky. I thought it was for him actually to try to get in a weird spot, but this is really interesting.
Oh,
that's real cheeky. Victor's gonna be able to catch potential lurk angle there.
Especially with the way that G2 have been playing, where they take a lot of B long control and then pivot through the teleporter. Victor's positioning would be excellent, but I think they're just going to time out this Sage Wall.
Yeah, they usually. I mean, that's the way that G2 play. Should be expiring at some point. It's going to be dropping down.
Yeah, they probably heard it, right?
And so it's a cute idea, but because you can only do this at the start of the round, you can't do that in the mid-round because you don't have enough safety.
There it is.
It just doesn't really work against G2's slower pace.
If we'll hear that. Ethan still with the operator. Jonah P! A shoulder peeking out just barely, but the shot missed.
Wow. Double shallow peek there. Ethan holding for the wider swing, which would be more common.
Perfectly tournament legal wall. I mean...
Lurks on lurks.
Sure.
Trying to catch a timing.
I honestly don't know why, though.
G2 back up through showers. It's not being watched here. It's not being watched.
What?
Oh no! It's happening again. This is the same as last week. G2 is just getting away with stupid shit again.
I don't understand what's going on with NRG's
It's over.
Rotations. So many times, G2 have got somebody deep in a lurk position, and they know exactly how NRG are rotating on defense because they're making noisy running around the map. And then you also get rounds like this where, if you think back a few rounds ago, when Valen called for them to take Lamps control and then Leaf got a deep lurk into spawn, that was also Victor that was over-rotating over towards B. Now, of course, we don't know whether this is Victor making mistakes or somebody on B calling for Victor to do that. So you can't put the blame on him necessarily, but the system's not working with the way that they're playing the defense side.
They want to keep these guns intact, at least Victor defending What are the onslaught eventually traded? This Alba player crashes with the AWP gradually, and there it is. Time should be running out.
Yeah, okay,
It's a
so
good
keep
kill,
that
but
online. But I think they've got some serious problems
don't know
here.
if it's
Part
enough.
of it is probably
It's not.
the G2's slower pace. NRG are just scrambling for any
I think we keep for operator, which is
After they
good
lose
for
Ethan over
defense,
towards
but
this side, there's a beautiful peak.
it's
really shallow.
so Jova in any case.
Great shot as well. Yeah, Victor just chooses a somewhat, it looks like, random timing to go through the teleporter. And it just opens the door for G2 to hit the opposite side.
We've seen that evolution of play from a lot of teams. The Sky nerfs way back in the day, but it does force you to play a bit more risky. To get that information, gleam it through the mid-round. This one looks, again, it feels like there's a lot of pace towards it. No detainment there from the Thrash. Still going to be holding it down. Out through elbow. Icy choosing to commit to it, though. Stunned up. He's but a Trailblazer. There will no be follow-up. He's from NRG. Waiting this one out here. Now the pit to try and evacuate, at least get themselves back into it. Not caught there, just on the reposition. In fact, Sleeper's the one who will fall. Wingman's trying to push them back, out through elbow. A reflank as well is still going to be occurring. It's going to be a tight squeeze just from NRG. They need to buy a bit of time though. Second wave of things. Nade almost pulling them out of it. Icy is already taking that space and the movement. A jar from Victor, just dancing around him. Som. All this space being brought up just for him to try and take this timing. There's a player still waiting. NRG should be cleaning up. Absolutely everyone still a smoke to play in from Jonah P. Walled up, not expected. Still going to be sticking this one out and through! Sprayed down, out into the corner.
They can't.
Drops it over. Half on the diffuser already sticking! No way!
How do they just get away with it all the time?
Around the NRG should have absolutely guaranteed slam dunked. It's a robbery. It's thievery. What am I watching? There have been so many of these situations. I guess it comes down to the inexperience on the team for playing together just at the moment, but spots like that, Victor and Finesse getting sprayed down. I mean, the way in which they're losing.
Finesse does not look happy.
It's the most ridiculous stuff happening.
I get it, right?
And those are the rounds where NRG have advantages. There are also
like
rounds where G2 are winning very cleanly, based off excellent calling or the players popping off, but there are so many of these spots where NRG are toe-to-toe with G2, and then something crumbles at the final moment.
Oh, did you see that in the
fails, a flank can't find
fifth
the kill.
zone? There's actually patrolling enemies?
The diffuser isn't able to trust the teammates to hold everybody
in the fifth zone in the final. There's actually patrolling enemies that just have like a large sector or map that they just patrol.
They look towards the final couple of rounds in this half.
I did not notice. That's kind of neat.
It's going to be worse than Haven. Almost
It is. It's very neat. Kind of want them to do a lot more of that. I'm surprised the only people did it, because clearly they know how. I mean, they're just using deep dungeon script, probably, right?
At the moment, if they try to get this to an 8-4 half, look at what they're working with. Yeah. 2 Guardians,
but
a
in the
Spectre, and a
overworld.
Judge. I mean, that
Yeah.
it's not.
It's always a question of server load. I don't know how
buying here, so they're going to be in a
bad
bad fight for the next round as
it
well.
is.
I mean, this is the round.
Particularly during launch.
Looks like there's some aggression at work.
I don't know. Sometimes I feel like stuff like this could be scaled. Right?
Trailblazer again. No info
Like
gathered.
people
Everybody just running
in
and scattering to
the
the wind.
city, NPCs running
Nobody willing
around
to fall to this
delivering
one.
crates or whatever to other NPCs.
It's wasted.
I feel like stuff like that
Still
could
Som. Put the operator into his hands, and he at least is
be
going to come
changed
up with the
dynamically.
goods.
I get that with 300 people running around, you can't just do that.
Walking through showers. Ethan
But
Jiggle peeking it, doesn't take any damage for that. Manages to escape.
I mean, it is client side. Most of those things are client side, so you
eyes are
could
drawn,
probably do
however,
it.
towards Jonah P on the other side of the map, who's in a bit of a lurk spot
Oh,
over
well.
on B. And NRG had doubled up Hookah, so I don't know how Jonah would get the read, but if he chose to take a timing, he could try to wander through.
There's just no shot, right?
Well, once the smoke dissipates and you post up on a number of angles, Finesse.
He's holding it.
Is he going walkabout with the Judge?
Tighter angle. If they walk into the smoke.
Yeah, if there was one kill that could open up the round, it would be this battle over towards B Garden.
It all comes down to it. Ball's going to be dropping down. A lot of presence being made over towards A. Still 30 seconds left. And they just spot it into the corner.
What?
Oh.
Everybody front
Yeah, no, I
section,
think
though,
Finesse is
inside to the
gonna
smoke. Not
have
expected by Leaf
an
to kill from
aneurysm.
there. Som still the operator
Or
following these
something, yeah.
players out for the TP.
It's okay.
Anticipated time.
It's okay.
Heart attack
Finally ran
incoming.
out of it. only 11 seconds left.
10 seconds left.
No options for Jonah P. And so there's that third round. Fated.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Okay, 9-3 curse. Like,
doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. You know, it's okay.
Throwing all of your eggs into one basket here, then round 11. To force up with such bad weaponry and believe in yourself to be able to drag this back to an 8-4 half. They've done it. That was the most important round to make this one salvageable at all. They've at least given themselves the chance here.
Are you sure,
back
Hippo?
online and make this 4-8, same as Haven. Big round from Som as well, picking up the operator, getting 2 nice kills with it. But it goes back into the hands of Ethan.
I mean, you can win 2-10. It's, we'll see.
Get lucky once more here with this timing, but
I mean, some people could.
really
Fnatic could.
There in that spot.
Could NRG.
Wait for the pressure to come through over the top here. Showstopper.
Why? He still died.
Where the hell did Icy land that one? At least with the kill, it is going to be traded. Bullets flying forwards and at least pointing them into the right direction. NRG got a handle on this one and got a grasp. But they're going to reset now. A line drawn into the sand. The patience played out for the back of the side. It's still a pit though. That's going to be dropped.
Bench. No, bench.
Difficult on a P, not expected. And what a mistake!
Yeah, it's happening again. I did say, hey, I wouldn't mind a game last week where G2 just just crazy, but I wanted it in map 3, not right now.
G2 tried a fast hit. This time
Oh,
catches NRG
we'll
off guard.
quickly move on to the SEN versus C9 game.
With the pit up to just distracted. It's a splash shot off the back.
Yeah, I mean, for SEN versus C9, who are you on? Who are you betting on, team?
Sentinels.
The Sentinels, okay. Letting down our boy Rooney.
I'm sure Finesse is gonna still feel confident in his own
Sentinels.
skills, but he's not making it easy with these defense sides.
Now G2 with an absolute chokehold so far in the first half for Bind. Let's send it down to Liz, who's down on the floor.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. I'm here with someone you know, but you don't know his face. It is Will Minder, everyone. You've seen, that's right. You've seen him on Twitter. He is doing all the math for you. But maybe for people who don't know, can you explain who exactly you are and why people that name may be ringing a bell?
I post the stats on Twitter, you know, the player stats, the team stats that you see on your feed.
And you see them and you use them in all your VLR and Reddit posts. So you should be thanking this man. But everyone say thank you, Will Minder. Thank you, Will Minder. Thank you, Will Minder. Thank you, Will Minder. Thank you, Will Minder.
I'm betting all in. I have 0 points, Toaster.
You're not on the job, but I'm putting you on the job right now. Can you give me, for each
Comes
team
with the
currently on
title.
stage, your favorite stat about them?
My favorite NRG stat is that they're currently the oldest team in VCT. Thank you, FNS, for that. And my
Wait, how's the average age?
I'm pretty sure it's in the high 20s, pretty high 20s.
I'm 25. That's not bad.
It's a pretty big gap between the other teams, though.
Okay, what about G2?
Leaf is currently the highest kill leader in Americas right now.
Let's go Leaf! A single Leaf! Amazing. Okay, what's like your favorite like fun stat about any of the teams that people might not know?
The SEN Classic is still highest average out of all the teams in VCT.
Highest average what? I assume kills. I mean, sales would make total sense too.
I bought the SEN Classic. Are you proud of me? Yeah! But my last question for you is, I don't think people realize or understand how you do what you do. Like, are you just like furiously writing down in a notebook? Do you have a calculator, an abacus? How do you do what you do, Will?
No, well, throughout time, there's been more websites that actually track more of the stats that I do. So I don't do too much work, as much work anymore as I used to. There's a lot more like development and dedication to actually getting the stats now.
Well, thank you so much for what you do, Will. We would not be the same community without you. Everyone get it for Will one more time. And let's see if that 9-3 curse stat gets changed, because friends, we have to get back to.
See if they, G2 end up closing this one out. That was really a masterclass in crowd.
They have to put that banner away soon, huh?
Smidge of pandering. I respect it.
Yeah, very good, very good.
I mean, if I spirit, I assume sales. But that's also a stat that I'm not surprised about, right? Tell me an interesting fact.
A desperate situation for NRG, one where they
pretty
need
expected
the pistol,
fact.
but also need to be able to put their trust in their attack side ideas and pull this one over the line. Their composition does not have the double initiator that makes the execs so powerful for teams like.
I still remember watching
or G2 in this spot.
Sentinels versus Genji on the TV with a large party pizza. That was great.
That one still, and they do have that lamp position. Icy hasn't been removed this whole time.
Gotta do that again at some point.
Pivot and exploration out towards Showers as well. Icy is feeling the heat here. There's uncertainty. You can hear many footsteps running up over him. They just reclaim that space. So NRG, at least with that first kill.
It's a nice adaptation as well for them. They lost short control. Got to hold on to it.
Still finding it. Plenty more to flood where that came from. It's going to take a miracle at this point. Trent eventually dropping. Jonah P off onto the side. 70 health. But everybody knows exactly where he is. Classic in hand. But there's a crossfire set up. Look at this. Triangle of death that's been set up. There's no worlds, not with a wall in his face. So, pistol round.
Let's go, Knife Free Curse. Give me map 3.
And I
Pistol
think
is a good start.
Really well. As soon as the dog comes through and Trent barrels his way through the teleporter, NRG upped the pace, got onto site, played for backside control as well, had a lovely pinch through lamps. You know, that's not the pistol round that they drew up. That's based on adapting to what G2 threw at them. And they've done a good job of it there.
Wow, Pujon. When you...
It was a bit of a freebie for Finesse to be able to get that one online, but he's got to convert on those, and it was nice timing to be able to get him that freebie. 3 players for G2, starting in
spawn for a fast rotate.
So they're gonna be ready
That's
to
very
respond
funny.
in kind, even though they are on that eco round.
Yeah, 5 classics.
Yeah, I think FNS is pretty beat down. Beat up, whatever, at this point.
Didn't really play very much.
I would not be in a good mood either.
Focus on that really heavily.
Got waves of it. Mosh might just be the next level of it as well.
I mean, after what Mr. reminded of, he might just be feeling that he's too old for this shit.
Oh no, he's on the wall! Oh, that's okay.
Okay, Clayton shooting still. But I think there's some damage here. NRG, how do they play this one? Even now going to be sticking, committing. He's now with the plant down, but doubled up, running through. Here's FNS. He's got a hand.
Robin, if there's one thing I wouldn't believe you if you told me, it's that you can beatbox.
Looking good there with the patience of getting the plant down.
Would never.
That's one of the things that Finesse's teams in the past have excelled at, is not getting antsy in spots where the plant gets denied. They hold lamps control, hold short control, and are very, very patient.
I don't know, I have this feeling that you are incapable of beatboxing.
Now also, any NRG fans are going to remember the horror show that was NRG playing against Billy Billy here on Bind. And that one's iconic.
Yeah, it was.
Together.
I mean,
you
don't gotta be a rhythmic genius to beatbox.
Really that they've been on the stage playing Bind, though.
There's a lot of other skills you're gonna have.
Quite some time away. Icy's nade just seeking to delay them from scaling up, taking that space again. It's very fast from NRG.
You can, if you prove it, if you send a voice clip of you
have that sound
beatboxing.
control, might be calling for the TP, just from all of his kittens. Mosh pit.
I mean,
down at the feet of Som. Can't quite get that one.
Really,
Still
you shouldn't be
trying to fight
surprised.
this one into the back of the side as well, but it's a very narrow choke point. Makes the bullets quite easy. G2 just land that one with FNS seeking a timing. He's trying to beat. He's still locking it down. Now with that kill found, he's gonna find that rotation out through Showers.
Hey, even Vi said that you couldn't beatbox.
So late from Jonah P.
Are you surprised that Vi said that too?
Finesse running, making noise, thinking that everyone had rotated already.
Double flash. One of them not connecting, but at least the Dizzy does. Tucked tight to the corner. Som just cannot evade it. Too many bullets coming in. His direction. Wingman with the defuse. Trying to cover this one. Not enough with the reset. Crashies. Can't control the rifle in time. And so that is successful retake. You can tell that it was layers that G2.
Yeah, at the same time though, NRG, that's a pretty decent bonus round. They get the plant, they get 2 kills.
I don't know where you're getting this idea from.
I think they'll be fairly happy with that. The problem is that they haven't
There's certainly things you're good at. I just don't think beatboxing is one of them.
G2 have taken this one.
Also because it's a very...
closer to that match point.
Let's put it this way, it's a pretty obscure thing.
So far, NRG have only had to demonstrate one idea, which is short control, take lamps, slowly try to get the plant down and put
I don't know, I just don't think you are the person to go in that direction. I mean, your screen name's Robin Wobbling.
Showers takes before as well. Victor double blast packs. Not what he's going for this time, though.
What's that supposed to
No,
mean?
you were about to say... yeah, exactly, what's that supposed to mean, but... I don't know, I feel like someone that likes birds so much
quite early.
is into beatboxing, right?
Still with the orb now, Victor. It's going to be
And I'm pleased to inform everyone that Lina Killjoy in my MSQ roulette drew a 5-star in Wuthering Waves.
Online for a really important round like this. It's actually Jonah
Damn.
who got his up first.
30 pity, apparently.
That's very lucky.
Maybe not. Okay, just trying to hold that one. They were expecting that it could have been straight up the gut, straight through into the A hit now. Molly's util going to be used to just clear the way in a path. Wall up as well, safety for the plant. Has to be spammed down by these G2 players, but it can't quite get the angle.
Birds that beatbox are that's something I'd like to see.
Slight difference with Victor playing over towards Showers.
This time Leaf going for a bit of a fast flank as well. It is going to be held by FNS. They have to clear out the Showers position though, they know it. Still holding for it, Victor to Satchel. Still with the nade,
FNS, you can't be doing that, man.
They still haven't got rid of Victor, and again, that is a nuisance player. This guy is going to be buying time.
And Raging Cliff has nothing wrong with the name, I just don't feel like Robin, and I did talk to Robin in the past. Someone with the name Robin, and her in particular would be into beatboxing. It's just hard to believe. And there's plenty of things that, plenty of hard to believe things about plenty of people.
God, that one got a bit close as well. Another kind of situation where Finesse and Leaf are battling over towards, you know, a spot. Finesse holding, Leaf walks in, Leaf still wins the duel. He's been unstoppable today.
Leaf just killing people.
At least run the clock down enough.
Leaf is locked
not
in.
to win the clutch.
That is what he's good at.
Post plans. They're getting it across the line. It is
Shooting
close. People. And Leaf the only player with a hero rifle.
What's FNS stats at? 714, eh?
So very important
better than
that
last
NRG
game.
actually converted and made sure that the spike detonated there. What an interesting spot for Finesse.
I don't know, Raging Fish. I don't know if I want Robin to get hurt, to be honest.
Into Showers.
Because let's put it this way.
Can't really hold this one. You can flash
unless you're on a trampoline, I think a pentuple backflip is incredibly difficult.
Might be calling for a bit of a Showers engage.
And I'd rather not
a lot of players
have Robin get
Look
hurt.
at Leaf and the timing he's getting again.
Out through the back.
Som, no! It's over. What the fuck?
Crashes. So that rifle does hold it down for them. Spike's still been dropped. They heard the rumble of the footsteps again as G2 were just evacuating away. There's online.
Player advantage, rifle advantage, but no information around the map. They genuinely don't know.
I mean, can you do a backflip into the water from like a 1 meter board?
So what's the call? Still with that Trailblazer. They do have that.
Where's the fruit tier list image? I don't know.
Can clear out most of the site.
In the VOD somewhere, probably.
Down, but this could still get dangerous. Wall has to block this. No way.
Bro, bad wall, bad wall, bad wall.
Running him down. Vanessa trying to go for it. Showstopper. They didn't know. And see, but he does catch it. I see. With that reposition, Leaf.
Troll wall, troll wall.
There's a lot to do.
Bad wall.
Walking away. As soon as the contact's going to be met and caught. No way. Victor, he falls. Rebound there with a molly.
Ooh,
Decay damage is still going to be kicking.
Really interesting.
Down to a single digit of HP. He's got to back away, got to respect
Dies.
this now. Still 2 to hold this
Leaf,
one.
Leaf can't win this.
Barely enough time
right?
to work with for Leaf. Could just come down to this.
There's no shot.
A moment.
Unless he just collapses them.
He hears a spray, potentially from both the rifles.
Yeah, he's too wary of
as well,
bench.
pushing him way back up. Crouched just ever so slightly away from it and crashes.
Hidden behind the gun model.
Delivers the death blow. Enough for a round win. They are dragging this one back.
There's so much that's going wrong for NRG around the map. I think it's incredibly impressive that they're still making these rounds work. To be trapped
okay, we still have Brimble.
in a round like this and still convert, like getting that pit down, blooming it onto the site, wall to block off, and pushing people forwards. Yes, it's taking ultimates. Yes, it's scrappy and difficult. But NRG are closing the gap down to 3.
How many performance points I had? I have
they can win
no
this
idea.
one as
I think
well.
they deleted the stat from my page because it didn't play for a long time.
G2, and then the game will really be afoot.
Just spotted. Pixel angle from Trent.
I know I was top 50k at some point, but I have no idea how much people did.
Away from this spot.
I like that flash. That
be
tucked flash tells you if they're left
crunch
side.
because of the short control provided by the pit.
What?
No way. Victor way ahead of it. Orbital strike. Nobody else going to be forced into the fray in the fight that was
weird.
really G2 seeking.
Yeah, you could see what they were going for there. Playing off the contact. Looking to go for the Brim ultimate. G2 have found themselves in a big advantage. You don't need to look for information as aggressively. But Jonah B's posted up pretty deep here, though, over towards Octagon.
NRG lacking these options. Unless Jonah P goes down, could be a big one. It's a game of really that chance and timing once more. The Dizzy ever so slightly delayed and late. He can drop down just a 10 health.
You heard the pros up.
Oh, this is awkward.
IGLs.
In my heart.
30 seconds left.
Barely an inch.
I mean, on my screen, it's Danny Phantom.
Under!
Available, it's a rich environment still with the order strike.
Backside!
Finds it. Icy has to stand his ground and maybe
just spam some, please.
Oh. He finds it anyway with Som.
What a shame.
Falling to his knees. An 11th round out for G2.
Oh well.
Well, in many ways that could have gone wrong, but G2 in the mid-rounding, they just had full control of A short and showers that entire time. They knew it was going to be landing over towards B.
And this one, probably the most important round to define whether or not this NRG comeback is going to be a reality. An eco swing round that knocked the economy of whichever team was going to lose it. NRG on the worst side
clearly,
of that.
if it was Dan, you the second N would be capitalized.
It's scrappy. Look at this.
It's just funnier to say Danny
but
W.
They do not want to play for the draw. Everything is on this. They had a round a bit like this on Haven. It did go their way.
Oh, it's a song call. Buy will win.
Heavily in favor of G2.
It's two spotted.
Buy will win.
You hear the Trailblazer at their backs. There's Molly's rebounding, even a stun potentially connecting.
So in which world does NRG win this?
Can be given over again. That timing
It's a good start.
Ultimate. That is a really good start.
It's a very good start.
It's
a very good start.
Incredibly good start.
It's basically an 8-11 now. Okay, it is an 8-11 now.
I just did not expect that this much. I expected Trent to ult and like catch two people.
They'll convert apparently.
I think also some of that might just be the gusto that they're playing with in those kind of positions.
Yeah.
Victor throwing his body on the line to make sure that he can get in there, but at the same time, how does Som even find those two with the Sheriff? G2's setup, maybe a bit ambitious, going aggressive off the Dizzy flash, but
they've missed the timing now twice now.
Yeah.
Just trying to take the fight at B long with the Dizzy.
Yeah, trying to recover after the first kill had gone Som's way. But G2 have put themselves in a rough spot here. I talked about the previous round being a real decider because it should, you know, under the normal rules, have forced NRG down onto an eco. And they came into this one with a Sheriff, and I think it was 2 stingers.
Yeah.
I mean, really
super
rough
risky.
force buy. A broken buy if you've ever seen one. But
Yeah,
take a
same,
look
no
at G2's
idea.
economy. You know, they just won around and lost a round. Lost bonus reset is going to put G2 now in the dumps. So, once more, I feel like this story is that NRG are prevailing against such rough positions that they find themselves in, and yet digging themselves out of holes. Putting themselves in bad spots right from the beginning, and yet still prevailing and making this a close game.
Player quality bailing them out.
Yeah, and ideas as well, finding rough ideas while they're in disadvantages.
They keep stringing these rounds together though for NRG. There isn't much breathing room. G2 just need to find a few. I see. Quick with a disengage.
They took retirement.
It's nothing to do with that.
They took a vacation.
Info we needed.
Took a little quick vacation.
Well. Where there's danger.
Oh, they go to Leola? Or where did they go?
Uh-oh.
Off to the side there. Icy takes that time in again.
Valen has a gun.
Off round to the side here. The wall into his face. Valen maybe seeking to at least go straight over it. Ethan with the plant.
Valen? I don't know.
Needs to be covered a little bit. TP's.
Probably Valen, I think.
Round here. Seekers have to be used to clear the way. Flank is going to be spotted. Trent. Not able to do too much. Jonah P's flash. It's a good connection.
Bro.
That's nice.
And they get a gun again.
Here. Maybe there is a chance once more for the back.
This is unacceptable. What the hell, man? Oh god. Oh no. Oh Lord. Oh man. Oh, okay.
Well, that's how they get to 12.
NRG had only just dug themselves out of one hole and they fall headfirst into another. They did such a good job of pushing G2 back down into an eco situation, and then they lose to the eco. So rough. Icy does good to be able to find the first one.
Current poll, GG or
Lack of map
OT?
control, I think. And Trent being able to pick up crashies on the flank. It feels like the main pack for NRG did a decent job, and then people just get picked off one by one. G2 themselves taking a tactical timeout here, which I don't know whether that got queued before they realized they'd won the round, or whether they just want to take a pause and make sure that they convert in this spot, because these last 3 or 4 have been so scrappy. Both teams throwing haymakers at each other and finding sneaky little jabs below the belt as well.
If you're G2, it would be a great time. Use the timeout, see if you can pull out something set. Strategy maybe. Anything to get it over that line.
Yeah,
13th round.
I think though that your set ideas, I think they have a little less punch with the Sage in the mix. You know, if Ethan's playing a second initiator, then you can apply tons of pressure by throwing in a fast round.
Yeah, I agree.
But with the Sage, it tends to
slowed. You know, you get it's a lot of pushback.
Yeah. Ethan does have the res online though, so maybe these slower paced situations and the post plant, they can just rely on a player advantage. It's going to be tough though. He's got Stinger in hand, top of the scoreboard. Played fairly well individually on both maps here for NRG, but it hasn't really been enough for them. Especially when Trent and Leaf have been playing like they have today.
Flash in the boom bot. 20 standard started to showers take here. And the middle to wall in their face alongside the smoke.
Ethan's been waiting to do that one for
I
a
think
while.
saving that to my favorites is very important.
Holding that.
It's a lot that's been thrown up. It's just Trent.
I will now share one of my
door
gifts with you in return.
Yeah.
Robin.
Do they read it?
This is awkward. There's a re-push call by G2. Proactivity. Res has to be offloaded.
Have they just ignored Trent?
Bringing him all the way back up. They have. They are just unaware. They've ignored him. They knew he was there.
But they didn't realize that he'd walked out of the teleporter.
I'm out. And so Victor dealt with.
Oh, I'm sure Robin can tell you.
Showers! Fallin! He heard it with a footsteps, man. Over the strike.
But it's a very important character from the Salt
It's a death blow that was necessary for G2 to grab this round and grab this map.
Alright, chat, I think that's it. I think we're going to Sentinels versus Cloud9.
Ace this to even keep NRG alive. G2 have effectively already slammed the door shut.
Spikes in the middle of nowhere. This is the revenge that G2 were dreaming of.
And just another 30 seconds of pain, potentially. Valen mercifully ends things out early.
GG.
A rough one for the NRG
67,
fans.
it's a bit too late, I'm afraid.
Of clarity, great calling, and yet heartbreak. It's going to be so difficult for NRG to make playoffs at this spot. G2 take another step forwards to earning that respect that has been so long denied them over here in Americas.
How much do they really need to do, you know? On the big stage, international performances.
I missed it, they lost?
Even regionally. They've been a heavy hitter. They've been taking these big wins away.
Again,
this
please.
was clinical. I mean, it's a 2-0 victory.
I missed it.
It came with
They lost.
well-drilled ideas. Both the maps that we saw. It's a team that's here to play.
Yeah, in a pretty dominant fashion as well.
That top 6 is what every single team is playing for.
Yeah, and is it the fairest matchup in the world between Finesse and Valen? I don't think so, when Finesse and Som have just come back from 10 months of retirement, but here and now, this G2 team is looking wonderful. So
you won, right,
ideas,
Robin?
good
Or did you lose? I think you bet on G2.
individual performances.
I think Robin bet on
Leaf on map 1 and Trent mostly, I would say,
Oh no,
on
you
map
were the
2.
one-person bet. Yeah.
Being able to
You just made
That's
400k?
big.
small holes in what NRG were going for. And that's something that hasn't really been showcased as much from G2. It's been much more about...
I mean, surely you're not going for the permanent
how they
T3
work
because
off each other.
you kind of have it.
But individuals found their moments today to a huge degree. I mean, look at this one from Jonah P, for example. Hitting a 3K in order to steal a round that should have been NRG's by right.
There's many instances of that where just the tiniest of details made the difference. But
Attention all
I mean, overall, can't discredit G2. Game plans are great.
Map 1.
And another day at the office for those people at the watch party. I mean, they were just... They
golf
knew
clubs all around.
I mean, they knew it was done, right? And it's not anything new, really, for G2. They have been winning. Maybe not in terms of their record in their regular season, but they were winning throughout playoffs to get second seed heading into Shanghai. Winning at Shanghai, doing a great job of making it out through that Swiss stage and only losing to the finalists, and here taking down another team that a lot of people respect. G2 are here to play.
Yeah, they certainly are. Well, with that being said, we're going to send it down to Liz, down on the stage for the Verizon post-match.
You're all in on SEN? Okay, show me.
Now the real party starts.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. I'm here with the man who, in your words, mercifully ended the game for NRG. It is Valen, everyone. An incredible performance. You need to be louder for Valen. That was an incredible game you called against one of the most storied and experienced and talented in-game leaders.
Oh wait, I accidentally voted on seed 9.
How do you feel right now?
It feels good. I mean, going into this match, we felt really confident with our game plan, with our map pool.
Accidentally.
So I kind of expected this win. I didn't expect anything less from the team because we've been prepping really hard for this moment since the offseason, really.
Whoopsie.
These high-pressure games where it feels like do or die because we're in a tough spot with our record, and I feel like the boys thrive under pressure, and it was a big match for us.
You can bet on C9 if you want to.
So
you can be a proud C9 supporter.
I'm sure it does, and that was
they
very
do have
convincing.
Rooney on the team.
Yes, Transform is clapping. You mentioned this. I'm gonna kind of go back to that word. You said pressure. You have felt a lot of pressure because of your scoreline right now and like how many games that you have to win.
Yeah, Robin. Not everyone just won 400k points.
Off, or is it just okay? We have to keep
That's
going.
all you got.
Keep fighting.
Oh well.
In terms of pressure,
at least you went all in, even
if
it's not a lot.
I think it comes down to us winning one of our next 2 matches to
all in is
almost
better
guarantee
than
the playoffs. But you know, mentality doesn't really change right now. We have our eyes locked in on trying to make champions. It's a big event for us. It'd be our first champions for everyone. Maybe I don't know about Leaf, but I mean, eyes are locked. Regardless of the match, regardless of our win, we're going to keep pushing forward.
It's a basic question, but what would it mean to you to make champs?
I mean, I say this every time for big events. This game really is my true passion. I devote all my time into this. My mental effort is always locked in on the game. Even my lifestyle is kind of around trying to be the best player I can. So
what do you mean by that? What do you mean by your lifestyle around that?
I don't know, like I wake up, I play the game all day, I watch VODs after, I try to get walks in the morning just to have the I guess the mental buff, like, you know what I mean, stuff like that. So Sentinels.
Sentinels have arrived. You can tell.
Sentinels have arrived.
But thank you so much. Everyone give it for Valen. One more time. You cheer for Sentinels. Cheer for Valen.
It is crazy how you can just tell that.
What game is next? It is Sentinels versus Cloud9.
A lot of these people are just here for Sentinels.
I mean, expected. Luxurious feel. 12.
If I shipped you a chair for free. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think that's happening. Well, I actually remember when I was at ESL Cologne for a Counter-Strike major. Don't quite remember which one it was. I just know that Virtus Pro played with the old roster. Max Nomic actually had a
Pushing yourself can push
little stand there where you could spin a wheel, and if you got lucky, you won a chair. And I did actually win a chair. That was my first actually good chair that I had. So it wasn't rigged. I just got a chair.
At Genie, we take smart seriously.
Seems like low odds,
but
you did
win.
win.
That's smart to make it all work.
Honestly, the odds probably weren't even that low. It's like 5 to 10%, which
was it a bad
honestly
chair?
is crazy.
Aladdin Connect integrates
No.
smart home
Definitely not their top spec, but like
yeah,
a pretty good one under that.
Connected home. Our
Oh,
series
damn,
of
okay.
connected garage door openers arrive with
I think on Vestor it was like 300-400 euros, which back in the day,
smart home.
right nowadays those chairs are like 500-600 just because of inflation and other stuff.
Oh, we're in luck.
It was very comfortable,
work
just
from home
fake leather.
emerges from
I
hibernation.
prefer my current one with...
But that's no match for her bronzing
Wait, I
gloves.
actually don't know this word in English. Fabric. Huh?
She hasn't seen the sun in 5 days.
Rude. It's only been 4 days.
I like this song. I'm gonna Shazam it.
$550 pieces. That's a lot of pieces.
Working on it. Don't believe you, Shazam.
Stand out from the crowd with training from Universal Technical Institute. As an official training partner for top brands worldwide, UTI has relationships with some of the nation's top brands like BMW, Ford, Freightliner, and more. No matter your passion in transportation, skilled trades, or energy, we have 15 training options for you. And with $15 million in scholarships and grants available this year to those who qualify, there's never been a
We
better
often
time
do
to get
600
started.
people. Well, I'm
Visit
just bad at puzzles.
UTI.edu today.
I mean, puzzles are certainly a good way to practice patience. Right? Being patient and practicing being patient is a pretty important thing in life. And puzzles are probably a great way to do it. Just don't get one of those that's just one color.
Definitely think SEN has a really good chance to bounce back, given that kind of the reason they stumbled in stage 1 was burnout.
I think we were able to reinvent ourselves, which is something that we didn't really have time to do coming into the last split.
Got plenty of time to work with, but then backs towards the one angle where Tens decided to just go walkabout.
I'm excited to play Sentinels because Sentinels got 10s. It'll be my first time playing against 10s, and gotta have fun now.
It's going to be catching the spike, potentially with this kill. Yep, drops out. This is the nightmare scenario.
We need to play this game and win. I have a lot of good ideas for some tweets after. It's gonna be hard, but I'm sure we're capable.
We gotta win this game so we can
VCT
tweet.
America's Super Week. Now we've officially reached the halfway mark. There it is, the halfway mark. 5 matches down, 5 to go. Now up next, your Sentinels versus Cloud9, and I'm Geek Heavy here with
Honestly,
Athena,
the
Mimi, and Ender.
audio sounded a bit weird as well.
Wonderful after that first game.
Yeah?
Prediction correct.
Up.
It was more of a stunt than I thought it would, especially towards that second map. But G2's looking legit still. A huge recovery from week 1.
Absolutely. Now let's talk about Sentinels though. I really want to talk about some of the comp changes that we've seen from that camp. It's been pretty cool, I would say. And that's putting it lightly.
On some fronts, right? They're still rocking the old school stuff on Split. Yeah. No real surprise for them. But the big shocker to me was pivoting away in the span of from the deadlock comp they were running on Lotus, the double Senti move, into that breach.
Yeah, and I mean,
Alright, chat, I'm level 99. Do I
the fact that this is something
do
they
2 dungeons to
into,
get 100, or do I just call it? Yeah,
and
I do
anytime
it
there's a
tomorrow.
big patch like this that has significant change to agents is a massive shift in the meta. I think
Not
there's
right
a lot
now.
of potential
Not to level.
to still be able to play your old stuff, but also throw in new creative ideas. And I think it adds a really good element to Sentinels, which is going to make them a tough team to prep for.
Yeah, I mean, they can also use it to
What do
kind
you
of
mean
play
go bad?
against
Isn't it-
whoever they want to play
No, you're
against.
now
Like, they'll
in
have like the
the
playstyle
other
kind of
direction,
difference in their comps, being able to use whatever they
I would
need
go
to
to
be
bed
more
if I had
aggressive
other things to do,
comp-wise, or being
but I
able
don't.
to have a better defense side if
So
they
I'm
feel
gonna
like it's
stick
going to be a little
around.
weaker against whoever they're playing against. You always have that kind of ability to take it one step further in the anti-stratting.
Oh no, it's 1 o'clock here.
I will say, I think for Split,
That's not
they're
mega
probably
late.
just going to stick with this
I
and not
played
run a second one.
But it's also
the release of
the shelf life on this map.
the newest Final Fantasy XIV Online expansion, which starts 3 days, and I went to bed at like 2 to 3 o'clock every day.
Earlier, Elizabeth
It's
caught up
not
with
not
assistant
super
coach
mega late.
Juice
It's
Sparks. Let's take a listen.
Expectedly late because I went to bed on purpose, late on purpose to play the game.
How hard is it to prepare comps with multiple different comps and multiple different play styles?
It's not too bad. When you've got a bit of extra time, you have flexible players, it makes it a lot easier. And honestly, I just get all my ideas from Reddit, VLR, and just implement them. So really, it's them doing the work for me.
Do you give credit
He
to them?
gets all his ideas from Reddit. Somehow I don't believe him.
Well, there you have it. They're doing all the work for for Drew Sparks. You heard it.
No, that's a liar. Me when I lie live.
You think he was lying? I think he was telling the truth. I don't know. Well, anyways,
Robin, don't you
slugged it out with
stay up with late a lot?
Much needed win. I was
yeah,
really,
exactly.
I mean, from what I saw from Sentinels was just really impressive. Like, Mimi, what was your take on this?
I feel like this game was a little closer than some people might have expected, but I think people are still underrating how good Crew is. SEN in a tough matchup here, I think made some really good adaptations towards the end of this game. I think they did a great job, especially of shutting down Kesnet in this game. Tens and Zekken, that star duo that's always been great for this team, had another great week. Combining that with John QT, having some awesome calls, I think especially on Split, still proving to be so good at that map. This is a win that gave me pretty high confidence in Sentinels for the rest of the stage.
I feel like while I was watching, I noticed that most of the issues that were kind of going on were just small mistakes, like little small repeatable mistakes that could be fixed going into the next week. It's stuff like crossfires, not holding each other's angles, or even just unfortunately getting the gamble wrong into what site they wanted to end up going. And so Crew also, I agree, they had a really good kind of read on how Sentinels were playing, but I think it definitely just came down to which team was cleaner at that time, and Sentinels really had it out for them.
They've got the good foundation to work off of. I don't know. That laid it all out.
Sorry, my bad. I took your point.
No, I mean, you're chilling.
No, I feel like, I mean, I think it's safe to say Sentinels, they've definitely been revitalized now, and they're coming back even stronger. I mean, they've had a pretty impressive stage 2 so far.
Hurry up and start the game.
I think they've been doing really well. I feel like
Start the game.
I mean, originally the first week having, obviously we just talked about the comps, having the different comp, and then going to the next week with a different one.
Sandy wants his crafting content. Start the game.
Do that. I thought it was gonna be like maybe an EG, which they did.
They did.
Yes, Boaster is that guy that does the insane dance
moves. I'm just like pleasantly surprised by their first week.
Yeah, I also think it was honestly a good strength of schedule to kind of rev back into it. Starting things off playing MIBR, I think an opponent they're really heavily favored against, and then playing a Crew. I think that for the team, it's going to build confidence in themselves to feel like they're starting to get back into that form they were striking towards the beginning of the year.
100%, and they were like spending time on that beach. I remember
you know the 99 dungeons, Andy?
Are in the middle of the pack in the standings, and they need every single win they can possibly get. As you can see there, looking at the standings. I mean,
you can't even go further. It's just 3 guys.
I mean, like it just.
I mean, some of the ones in the 100 one are also kind of weird.
We'll have to see where SEN gets placed.
I mean, getting this win means they have the differential over
C9. But at least I understand the lore-wise for that one.
Head-to-head match, which is really important for these teams that are so close
together.
together.
Let me see what has
upper middle class
Hippo typed in chat today,
just
and see how long this timeout was going to be.
Also, with just like 2-3 games remaining for most of our teams, like just getting to 6 wins.
Talking about the game up until now, not that there's no game is turning into a weirdo. So
this game for either of them could hit them onto that mark.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Now let's move on to Cloud9. They're coming into Super Week off a tough loss at the end of Week 1. Now their offense flatlined against G2. I mean, it was 13 kills and 9 failed attack on the attack side rounds.
When will he get banned for a week?
Nuts.
Not a lot. Yeah.
If he gets banned, he's not coming back.
Was a big surprise because I feel like Cloud9 is playing really solid Valorant throughout this series. I think that they
anyone that comes back from a ban is on a.
Flood retakes looked really good, but their attack side struggled there. And they had a super dominant icebox here.
I mean, I thought there was a phrase that I could think of that's apt, but there
honestly,
isn't.
G2 just outcalled them.
Yeah, straight up. And like, I did want to shout out like they were playing like the Reyna and stuff on icebox. It looked like
a while back,
solid for them. Big ups to Oxy on that.
No, that was also Val. It was both of them.
A single round on your attacking side of Lotus is just
by the way, is
not
the
acceptable.
most attacking sided map in the pool.
Yeah, that can't happen.
I mean, I don't even know for me, like if it came down to counter-stratting or it literally just came down to its third map, everyone's running out of gas, and Valen was just like outcalling.
Why? I don't know. I'd have to recheck.
But there has been a history with Cloud9 of running out
The
of gas.
3 of the people with me in the dungeon are first-timers, and they all just died to the first boss. The
poison
stuff.
How dominant they were in the regular season stage.
To be fair, the poison stuff
did not quite show that same form in playoffs. Like,
isn't that easy to get if you're here for the first time, but like.
And they absolutely should have last week.
I would say, too, it was a little bit odd seeing how they were prioritizing who was taking first fights. Like, I think Zepp on the get-go had the most
without
on his
rules
team of opening engagements, and that was not a pretty number for him either. I think that was also something they need to be looking at moving forward in their Lotus games.
Absolutely. Well, you know what? Let's hear what the duelist Oxy had to say to Elizabeth before this match.
All right, Oxy, the people need to know.
Okay, at some point I'll give up, and
today.
people will do whatever they want.
Will you be playing it?
Today.
Without rules, we are Robin
I want
Hood.
to say we'll be
You mean
playing
without
Neon,
rules,
we'll
you'd
play different
remove the
regions, is all I
space
can
from
say.
your name?
Okay.
Or do you mean everyone in the server would suddenly become
Do you
Robin
prefer being
Wobbin?
on the Reyna? Do you prefer being on Jet? We could do. Hey.
And 100,
Phoenix,
I wish
hey,
I
you
knew.
haven't seen Phoenix yet. Maybe a Jet, maybe some Yoru, some Neon, some Reyna. Hey, I don't know, but hey, we'll see you on stage. Hey.
That was weird.
Hey, you know what? Let me just say, today we get to see Oxy and Zekin go head-to-head. Thank you so much
I love
to the
Oxy
scriptwriters.
because I think he is the best representative in VCT of
That was weird. That was a weird
the
interview.
average Valorant ranked player.
I mean, with Foxy, I'm not too surprised.
So that's for sure.
So funny.
I would say he's
Like Zelsis, if there's an interview with Zelsis, I assume
Yeah, I mean, there
the
is
SEN
only
bundle
one vibe
plug.
and it is Zelsis, but he does bring the
Always.
energy for this team for sure. He was popping off in this first series we saw from them in stage 2.
And this is no surprise for Oxy, right? Like, he has been lights out all year long. I will say he has been such a shocking rookie to sort of come out here. He was also talking about how it was kind of cool for his first chance to actually go up against 10. So I think this will be a fun matchup for him as well. Not just that, but also Zekin, whose raise was absolutely lights out the other day.
Yeah, I feel like
I think
there
this
was
is a
so
fun
much
matchup
teasing
for
about the
pretty much
comps being
anyone.
changed in the duelist, but personally, I don't see
That's-
Oxy or Zekin kind of switching off of their true
Zekin's
bread and
perma-locking
butter.
raise.
Yeah, like I feel like we're gonna see them sticking to what they know goes well, and I'm not mad about that because both these players are just so explosive in their play style, and everything that they do just works.
You don't think Zekin will play Neon this stage?
I don't feel like he should.
I think only Boast
Raze
is capable
works
of
so
that,
well.
Robin.
But I have heard a lot of the players just complain, saying like Raze is just so slow now. So it depends how they're trying to.
Yeah, but I think
set it
it's
up.
because Sentinels haven't really played the Neon maps,
They did play
right?
Sunset, but they haven't played, correct me if I'm wrong, Lotus or Haven yet.
No,
Oh,
no,
that's
they haven't
funny.
played the Lotus, but they've been playing the
Hippo got
Raze on
timed
Neon,
out
of
and he
course,
got
of
kicked
course,
from
and
his
obviously they're split
under
too,
peel
so
voice
I don't know,
channel.
I think it's
So
more
I'm
of
sure.
a
I think he's
macro
doing
thing,
in-game
and
comms
we will
right
see
now.
them tested, and I think there will be angles for
Oh,
Sentinels
my
to run
that's
something
pretty-
other than just the boring the Raze.
Yes,
That's
but-
pretty
Kinda
funny.
fucked, honestly.
That's my big thing.
No, it's
No,
boring.
it's
He just
boring
wins
when
every
it's
time and like kills
second.
everyone, and that's kind of like I'm
that's
kind
so
of over
hard.
that.
That's so
And
tough
Not
to
my
watch
problem.
that.
But who do we think is going to put up the most numbers here?
Oh,
Low
that's
key,
a good
it might be
question.
Oxy. I don't think Cloud9
Yeah.
is going to win, but he has just been the quality of
It
performance
is Hippo. I
having, even
don't think
against,
questioning
like,
it too
the
much
best
makes sense.
Teams, is it? I think also they put a lot more into him, buying him hero rifles when they're on an eco, putting a ton of resources in. I don't think Zekin gets quite as many resources, and they don't do as many set plays, but I think he is excellent and probably a better
But
player
did you see
overall.
his movement with the dodging rockets going up the zip line? I feel like you gotta
That one
respect the
clip.
game.
The
one clip.
got
Yeah,
you
hey, we
sold.
saw it though. That's evidence.
No, I 100% agree with Mimi though. I feel like Steve.
You think it's Oxy?
Yes,
But not-
Yo.
not because I
they
think Zekin's
set
gonna
him
diff
up
him.
so
Okay,
well.
okay, fair.
And so consistently, they depend on him to go kill, and I feel like
He needs to go kill if
Yeah.
they're going to have a chance today.
Yeah, well, you know what? Let's send things down to the stage and get things underway right
Interesting sticker. I have no idea what it's supposed to show me.
Riot Games Arena! We have two more North American powerhouses facing
Yep, that's a lot of SEN fans, alright.
Give it up for
Just all SEN fans.
Hey, at least we're cheering for Cloud9. That's
They're not disrespectful to a point.
yeah. Unfortunately, some team fans are for some reason. Good to see that Sentinels aren't one of those teams. That is a good question, Neon. I'm kind of unable to check. If you want to check VLR, they probably know. I mean, the question is, why would you use True Stretched? Not if it's allowed. Just what's the point of using it?
I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure why you would lose more.
And now let's bring out their
Crazy.
opponents. I don't think I have to ask
You saw
them to
a
make
new
some
player
noise,
use it.
but
You saw
make
them
some
probably
noise.
stretch their UI, but not their like actual FOV.
Yeah, there's a difference between stretched and true stretched, because true stretch just makes you see less. And that's just an objective disadvantage.
The enemies are fat? You can't call the enemies fat like that. That's body shaming. But also, you're very wrong.
Like even if it was allowed, using it would be a disadvantage. There's really no point to doing
it is definitely not allowed in VC2.
Oh, I'm not saying it is. Just
oh yeah,
it
yeah.
would be a disadvantage if it was.
Making sure we're making that point clear. It is. Isn't the Fnatic Vitality game? I'll believe you because it costs me nothing to believe you, and I don't really care that much. If you want to link the clip or whatever, then you can, but I don't really care that much.
Seemingly
I'll be honest.
revitalized Sentinels, giving them a new
Sounds
lease
stupid.
on life. But is it possible for Cloud9 to knock Sin City off the map and start working their way north of the equator and grab a spot for the Stage 2 playoffs?
It's very possible. Cloud9 had a great start to their year after making some changes. I think surprised everyone by how strong they were in Stage 1. They haven't been able to pull it off when it really matters in playoffs, but they have a chance here to make an upset happen. And despite that choke in Week 1, I think they did show good form in that series.
I think either way, we're looking at a very
Split,
good series.
Lotus.
And right off the bat, I am very excited to see a Haven out of Sentinels. This is a map where, yes, you
Is
could
it always
still
just
play the
3
old
site
school
maps
Jet
people
if
want
you
to
are
play
second,
because it's
but
hard and they
big
think they're
options to be
better?
running the Neon and see him
Haven,
branch out.
Lotus.
Do you really
Haven,
think he's gonna
Lotus.
plot the Neon though?
Haven.
Actually,
Lotus.
yes on Haven.
Ooh,
Actually, yes.
I'd be down. I feel like Haven is just such a good fundamental map where each of these teams are going to be playing to kind of hit, touch sites, kind of pull rotations, and kind of abuse the kind of weak points around the map on this Haven. But I don't know. I feel like Sentinels, if they're still as innovative, I feel like we've seen a lot of fun comps.
Yeah, we have seen some interesting stuff on Haven. I kind of almost expect them to play like the like Breach, Sova, Neon kind of comp, because you can have tens play the Omen and op on your defense sometimes. So we're getting a little bit spoiler there.
Yeah.
Second is gonna just lock in that Jet, but he's great on the
Someone
Jet.
just womp
it
womp.
provides you a really good power on your executes with the dash, the op, of course. Is
That's
good.
kind of
That's not
sacrilegious
super
to use that
surprising.
sticker,
And it's basically
Robin.
the same over here, but with that Gecko instead the Sova, the distinction for Cloud9.
Yeah, the Gecko's pretty interesting because it
I'm
removes
gonna
some
ping
options
Krista.
from like your early defaulting for like a lobby control on defense especially, but it does give you very powerful flash combos both for attacking sites and retaking them. I think this comp can accelerate very quickly in the mid rounds, especially if they're holding onto their breach stun. They can use Gecko util instead of the breach to advance and then overwhelm on the sites.
Who is the tomato? That's definitely not a tomato. Your tomatoes should not. I mean,
to your casters, working the second shift tonight.
actually,
They could.
is there a large orange tomato? I know there's like orange-ish cherry tomatoes.
There's like actual blue tomatoes, and I don't mean the brand. I mean tomatoes that are actually just blue.
Blue?
Anything's possible, man.
Teammates for the first time
know
since
about that
roster
one.
changes happened. It's so good, man.
Yeah, and Zelsis is basically the godfather of this C9 roster. He most notably made it right before leaving. He dipped
Use an
out of there. He
apple?
was
Yeah,
like,
I don't know what kind of
you guys
fruit
take
you
the
people are
reins, but I'm
eating.
joining Sentinels. And that's when he thought he was going to be a sixth man. So he clearly had no faith in that squad whatsoever. And now he's going up against them.
The last time they played was in 2023. It was LCQ. Zelsis was donning the blue and the white, and they knocked Sentinels out. They sent him into the lower bracket. Ultimately, they lost to Leviathan, but this is a matchup that, again, when you think about the history between
game
him
is starting.
and the
I
rest
guess
of
I
the
should
roster, there's a lot to be excited about. Sentinels
close
on the
the
attacking
prediction.
side. They're going to be running that
Let me do my
standard
final
jet
call.
comp with Breach over the top on Zelsis, no less.
Last call
And they've
for
left
prediction.
Oxyon and Island.
Prediction will be
By
scored
himself, has to give some of the
momentarily.
space back, can
Last
see
call.
the area.
Don't forget to
Guys, so
prediction
deadly
ahead.
with the Sheriff, though. He already got a tag earlier in the round on 10s.
Down to
Opts
48.
to play a retake, yeah.
There's some
I'm
of that space
closing it.
conceding that we
You
were
guys had
just
your
mentioning.
chance.
Tucks back into smoke, procs the dash, and is now
I mean,
ready
with
to
stream
go
delay,
forward.
didn't they have like 10
Recklessly,
seconds?
Stassi will be the
Is
first
that
That's enough
to
time.
Zappa joining
That's
in on the
100%
flank.
enough time.
Now you're
That's
starting to see
new.
Cloud9 flight back
I
out,
mean,
take the
you
space
weren't
away.
watching during
Zelsis gets
Madrid, I
active
think.
and pays
Is it?
for with
I
his
did a
light.
lot
John
during
QT left
Madrid.
alone. They've gotten Spike down, but can he pull off
They did do that
another
during Madrid.
magic moment? He's gotten it down to one. Moose has gotten it to half. It's not planned for him. There's a swing. A
What?
shot. Land. Moose gets the pistol for Cloud9.
Off to an interesting start already, I see.
That's crazy. That was pretty crazy.
The spike gets defused, and it was that fast blood from Cloud9. It looked scrappy. It looked crazy at first. Oxy, he just dashes in. Doesn't have a cloudburst because he invests into a sheriff, but he's still connected regardless. Yeah, he gets flashed.
Yeah, stunned and flashed.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. You saw
That's my
him for what,
wacky
a split
anecdote of the
second,
week.
and
I
just
used to
knows
give
just
wacky
steady the shots
anecdotes.
right there. Nobody can be moving, and Johnny had a really good opportunity to close this one out, but
Not sure about that. You could always start.
It's Moose, the one who's kind of just snuck under the radar a lot for this Cloud9 roster, but he's kind of been an anchor, like the glue almost for this team as well.
Yeah, he's been super steady. And I think there was a lot of discussion around whether or not he was the right fit for the roster, but he's answered the call. Cloud9 come into this match with some really interesting hopes and aspirations. Think about the year they've had so far. They hit the halfway mark at 5-1. Yeah, they fell short of Shanghai, and you know that one stings a little bit, but 5-1 with plenty of hopes, plenty of reason to think the Champs is on the cards.
Plenty of time to prep for Champs as well, or this stage 2, I should say.
Yeah, but they come out of it a little sluggish, perhaps. You know, they lose to G2 2-1.
I'm just trying to figure out like what anecdote am I supposed to submit here.
Zekin's the only one who had a stinger online. No armor left on the side of Sentinels.
Yeah, he's not sluggish, that's for sure. And that should be an upgrade for one more member.
How do
this
planes
roster.
go faster?
We've seen how deadly the stinger can be in rounds
It's an interesting
like
question, but there's multiple answers.
He bought a hero one, but his economy is still really good.
Oh, that's a very easy answer, Robin. They're estimating
like
based on the wind, how fast the wind is, the air traffic.
Direction.
Three members have full armor.
I would say the majority of the time is actually based on air traffic and wind.
Really close up and personal in their face.
Less so the direction.
At that point,
so
it doesn't even matter, right? And it looks like
let's say
the direction of the wind.
Oh yeah, and the direction. Yeah, the direction. Sorry. The direction of the wind. Say like you're hitting against the wind. That literally would cut your time in like half. Or double. So if you're going north and the wind is blowing south, your plane has to fly weird, like differently, so it can make the destination. The problem is it would make your. Are they gonna win this ego?
I mean, they've stolen this round away. The high-low, a bit difficult to navigate, but manages to do so.
Hold on, I gotta watch.
Still the way of Sentinel, still plenty of
God damn. Anyways,
it's not completely random, but yeah. Pretty much.
By the crowd as well.
Anyways,
but the
Sentinels,
the wind is super important in the direction, and then it's also air traffic. So you got when you combine the two, is that first you have to decide what does the air traffic look like? Can I even take this path because there's gonna be another plane here, and we have to give them a berth, otherwise we're going to all die. Then you have to decide, with that in mind, what planes are in the area. How can I take the path from place A to place B with the wind in this direction? And then, what happens if the wind changes mid-flight?
We'll see what
or if another plane could not depart on time, and that means that space is now open. So.
Or
you put
another plane called an emergency.
Exactly, right? So you put those things together, and then you just have a pilot. It's hard. No, the pilot job is hard. You're talking about the air controller, the air traffic controller. The controllers get paid a lot of money, a lot of money.
And then a little more.
And go into very early retirement.
Yes, because it's extremely stressful. Because what you do will make or break a whole plane exploding, basically. As you are directing the flow of traffic of planes that are harboring like 300, 400 people, and or millions of dollars of goods, and or toxic goods, and all of that.
John QT.
He's gotten out on
why that isn't even that accurate. Here in Germany, ATC gets paid like 75k a year when they start, and it goes to like 150k. But you have to be, I think, the oldest you can be to apply is 24. So if you're 25, you're not gonna get it. Like you're not even considered. You have to be young to apply. You have to work through university, that like only 30% of people actually succeed, 70% of people just fail outright.
Yeah,
and then you have an incredibly stressful job with incredibly harsh times.
Weaponry, right? It's
you
the
make a lot of
abilities
money.
as well, the ultimates that are coming up online.
You make a lot of money
John
and then you
away
go
from
into
that lockdown,
retirement
right?
at like
Sachi's
50
away from
because
his
the
Hunter's
job's
Fury.
so incredibly stressful
That's why
that
you're
like,
seeing
where
John
you're
hunt
50
for
now,
these kills
goodbye.
actively. He's got a Spectre to his name. He wants to upgrade next round anyway. Same with Sachi, I imagine.
You mentioned one away from the lockdown.
He's got it.
Yeah, he's gonna get it. Certainly not the way he had intended or the way he would have hoped. But he got his.
Yeah, if it was easy to become an air traffic controller,
we'll join him at the
a lot more
but that is more
bad shit would happen.
For the
Let's
side
put
of
it that
Sentinels,
way.
For John and Sachi themselves. That's 2 orbs for Sachi.
There's a reason it's a high-paying job. At the same time, for some reason we don't pay nurses nearly as much, right? They do just as an important of a job. Their job's incredibly important, but we barely pay them anything. But I mean, that's a different discussion.
Cleanup for the rest of the kills on the board. So it will be the first gun round amongst these two teams in this series, which we presume to be a banger.
I mean, it's already starting to deliver. And you mentioned the ult in the hands of John QT. You know, oftentimes when you see an ult in round 3 or round 4, it's because it's a get-go.
The crosshair zooming on the wall.
To see it on a lockdown is just so atypical.
Yeah, it was that 3K that he got on pistol. Yeah, he couldn't close it out, but he's still getting that spike planted, getting those 3 kills, closing out the last round as well. Here comes the C-Exec. No one here to reciprocate. Vanity maybe trying to get some spam. Has to back off now, and that will be a C site fully secured and locked down.
It was a different approach to it, too. You think about the last couple times they've hit this site, it's been through long, but this time it's split up garage. They've got the lockdown, as you mentioned, that's going to buy so much time and create so much space. I think the other thing we have to mention here is Saci and his positioning. Has the Hunter's Fury, second and John get active. This is as easy pickings as they come.
Disgusting proactivity in that moment, just understanding that all the members of Cloud9 are in these weird, awkward spots in spawn waiting for that lockdown to go away. So the proactivity in that post plant from Sentinels, that was on point. That was a hard read as well.
You beat me in coin flip. I don't know.
Now they're
I
on the
remember.
hunt once more. Why not? Your economy's already, I mean, miles ahead of the enemy team.
I mean,
worst case scenario, you drop, you get your ult.
They did such a good job of disruption there. When you can tell Cloud9 wanted to settle in and then strike together, Sentinels never gave him an opportunity to really get into that comfortable spot. So they now find themselves up 2 rounds as we head into the 5th. Also very quickly, just as we look over the silly antics one more time. I mean, that Hunter's Fury and the fault line combo was, I mean, it was gorgeous.
Zendika is currently playing the critically acclaimed MMORPG Final Fantasy XIV Online with an expanded free trial.
So good, and that goes back to stage 1 as well.
Includes the entirety of the Heaven's Ward and Stormblood expansions,
obviously everybody
up to level 70, with no restrictions on playtime.
And now, yeah, they ran into some heat after Madrid, but for this stage too, they look reinvigorated, refreshed. And I think that's a testament. I think a lot of the players on this roster,
who doesn't?
In a lot
Why?
of media that they did, they were even saying, you know, we just need a break. We're burnt out.
It's a big shot out from Ox even second on the trade.
It's a fast trade.
The kid's just been phenomenal, man.
Found it nice.
It's been such a pleasure watching this kid grow, make it on the main stage, and now be a champion.
We did have a clip posted on chat of a true stretch Sentinel.
Trophy at the end of the year.
Nice. I don't.
Take a look at that.
I'm not like. I can't tell if it's too stretched or not.
To the year.
I'll
Fall
be
line
honest
out.
with you.
Second falling.
Yeah.
Zep is showing he can build that
I'll
thing
look at it in a
just as
second.
well.
Maybe it is.
On the swing, able to settle, able to drop a IGL
I could not tell
side.
you.
Now numbers away of Cloud9. You're starting to see Vanity rotate and get to the party. Rooney here as well. 1 away from his Rolling Thunder. Worth mentioning is he gets it online, but you can't imagine he drops in a position like this.
30 seconds left.
In a 1v2. A tap of the spike, a dare, a challenge, a beckon for a swing, and only one foul. Finds the second. The Red Bull clutch for Sentinels.
Damn.
All right, let's pull up the clip. Let's see.
And he was out of his chair for good reason. The crowd cheering him on.
I don't see any true stretching going on.
None other than Celsius.
55 HP.
And he knows. He was yelling something.
Oh yes, and you want to know how many screenshots I took?
I'm sure it was family friendly.
Yeah, he was yelling
stupid. More importantly, how much space they take up, because they're all 4K screenshots.
That's exactly what happened.
A lot of space?
Second with an attack side option.
Yeah,
we talked so many times about the
9.4
financial
gigabytes.
situation they find themselves in.
A lot of
and
space.
how it's just booming. It allows them the luxury of
Where did all the
things
space
like
go?
this to really deep.
Yeah, Robin,
alarm
that's a
bot.
good point.
The cue for the rolling
Should
thunder.
update
They paid
that.
it
You know,
out.
maybe we'll do a coding stream, who knows?
Look at the mechanics from
And
second
by maybe
to
we'll
get
do a
out of
coding stream, I mean I'm
dodge.
fixing
Jock
it right now
gets
while
punished,
I'm in queue.
It's a good early round for Cloud9.
I thought there was going to be a punish off of that. Meanwhile, Oxy building it off of his own.
TCS redemption.
A
Oh,
lot of
this
that
is a
damage
gift.
off of the beginning, but Oxy just begins to tee off on the other side. I think he saw a wisp of that TP as well. So now 10's patiently
I don't
waiting.
know what you're talking about,
He
Robin.
puts it between his
What?
eyes through the wall. Unbelievable. And now the other waiting grazes by his ear.
Member dot.
Batasi realizes as the corners close in, the round is done. It's a dead man walking. Oh! Oxy with 4, a flawless round for Cloud9. What a response.
Oh, what an insane response. I mean, the way that he just did that as well with full confidence. Yeah, it was Sentinels giving him one by one individual peaks, but I mean, 10s, he had no chance at all. Absolutely deleted. And this was a nice trap play based off that alarm bot. Yeah, it didn't punish Zekin right away, but Oxy, I mean, he just got easy pick'ems. That was a ridiculous shot. And all of a sudden, that young kid is ramped up himself, and he's ready to put some numbers on the board.
6 and 5 currently. Blades popped right at the beginning of the round. And the op in the hands of Oxy.
That short dart was
Right,
broken.
should be
by
fixed
a
tomorrow,
teammate.
Robin. It's not gonna be retroactive, but anything new is gonna work.
Angle ready for any type of reswing.
Oh, it
all
didn't hit him.
vanity.
Oh, but the flash is so good. But they still haven't cleared the angle. Now spotting him, now dealing with him. That could have been disaster. Somehow Sentinels settle up in numbers with site control and spike planted. Now they turn their attention towards dealing with the attempted retake from Cloud9.
It's a 4v3 though. This is going to be so hard for Cloud9 to execute correctly.
It will be, but they have the utility to do it. They have the mosh pit, they have the dizzy over the top, and they have a thrash. Celsius has already fallen. His move starts to swing out. No contest quite yet. Look at how far Sentinels
Where does he go?
have taken a step back, vacated everything they had previously taken.
Doesn't hit John Cutie.
See his shock darts go through. Sentinels are going to have to fight back for this. They may have given up a little bit too much space here. It's going to be on Zekin to get active. He's left in a 1v3 with Blades on the finds it first, finds a second. Rooney, the only one left standing. It hasn't even been given a half. Zekin should be able to swing this out. Another clutch for Sentinels.
Another moment. Just listen to that crowd, man. Cloud9 did a good job of bringing it to a 3v1, but second, he's been an MVP for this roster so many times. And for reasons like that, and he's just caused Cloud9 himself to make a timeout. It's so electric in this arena right now. The crowd for Sentinels has been going absolutely wild.
Dre, you and I often talk about how momentum-driven this game is, and how oftentimes off of a big play, the scales tip away from them. Think about the round that Oxy just had, right? And how easily that could swing back the way of Cloud9 in the face of the crowd, in the face of all the
Certainly a
excitement,
good
the
thing
energy,
to
what
get,
have
Robin,
you.
yeah.
For that response to deliver when it does, I mean, that's just perfect.
And
Well, then again, you don't really need it for like Perma T3.
Pain for the other team because they're hearing that.
Yeah, there's no amount of white noise.
Yeah, it's
no way.
It's an absolute packed arena right now.
Yeah, TTS is way too much fun.
Fans. Yeah, I'm sure there's some Cloud9 fans in the crowd, but they're getting drowned out right now. And Sentinels are starting to run away with this one. 5-2 right now on attack. Haven.
Why would you be able to TTS for free,
There's this
Robin?
conception of Cloud9 that it's often
Okay, I
Oxy
see.
and friends. Right, but I will say, when Cloud9 have been at their best, when they've been the most successful, there's somebody else who's fragging alongside him, be it Moose, be it Rooney, be it Zeb, you know, whoever it is. There's somebody there to be a 1-2 punch left and the right.
Yeah, I used to spend a lot of.
I think we need to see someone else step up on the side of Cloud9 here, and they're going to have to do it in the face of all the momentum that Sentinels have amassed.
Yeah, and that's no easy ask whatsoever. Keep in mind, though, this is Cloud9's map pick, so yeah, they didn't get off to a great start because of that eco, that thrifty round from none other than Zekken, of course. But they still are in this. They still have a chance. If they can stop the bleeding now and get some resolve to this half, who knows what they can cook up on attack. Vanity, he's been great with the IGLing role. Honestly, all year long. He's done more than impress me, at least. That's for sure.
What's the plan here for Sentinels? A lean towards A.
Official gifted T2 is there.
It's all divergent.
As Zekken dashes out, you see the paranoia drawn out as well, but you're absolutely right. The spike is rotating towards C. The alarm bot out from Garage may cause a problem, though. Instantly, you see the pause for Cloud9 on the minimap, rotating back towards C.
And Zekken heard all of that. Yeah. He heard at least 2-3 members in spawn going back to C. This mid-rounding, are they cooking a little too much? There's only 10 seconds left in the round. Breach utility still up right now for the side of Cloud9 and Rooney. There's that fault line. Bomb is not going to get planted.
No, I don't think there's a way for Sentinels to get back in on this. Epoxy over the top and the blades as well as time expires. Yeah, they inserted Zekken, but he never
Potato,
really
you
moved
have
after
T3.
that. A big round out from Cloud9, yes, in large part to the fact that it may have been overdone from Sentinels, but they capitalized anyway.
Yeah, definitely an overcook.
Wait, Sen is
from the side of
5-3?
John QT. It seemed like he actually finessed. He out macroed Cloud9, but
Unexpected them to be 6-2 or something.
When full utility is still abroad and on board, it's too hard.
They're scared, baby. Hey, lock in is the key. Lock in, baby.
And the thing with this Cloud9 team is you don't want to give them rounds like that because, yeah, when they get momentum, that's when they're the deadliest. And Oxy, he's sitting at 8-6. He's slowly ramping up.
He had a 4K with an op just a couple of rounds ago. Still has it in his hands. And there is some challenge from Sentinels towards A main.
Oh my goodness.
There's a name we haven't talked about.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? Sentinels have so many star players. Tyson just sneaks by the radar sometimes himself.
The big shot out there for Oxy. Op hasn't been scooped up quite yet. You imagine that will be the case. How much longer can they conceal Zeppa here?
Yeah, does he get antsy? Does he want to peek? But he's going to get met by opposition.
His freeze is
oh
crazy.
My gosh.
Another one. Now Zeppa getting active. The Dizzy over the top. The Zekken dashes into his face. A site wide open.
Really good patience and poise from Sentinels there to just slow the round down, not die to the operator early on, and now it's a 4v2. They get the spike planted basically for free. All three of those kills were in A long. And they were holding for that. That was the whole plan.
And that does sound like a mistake. A lot of people would make. Which is really funny.
John walked in, tried to break an alarm bot if it was there, and that's how they caught all these players of Cloud9 in that transition.
Gave you that
trying
T3?
To get out of there. Oxy, he was about to rotate.
Was it supposed to be temporary?
Took his head clean off.
Make it sound like I accident? I don't remember. I don't think I did it.
Will be another round the way of Sentinels
someone did it,
back once more. I think that's something to be said
me.
about this match so far. It seems every single time Cloud9 win a round, Sentinels answer back with one of their own, and in convincing fashion.
That push
you don't believe in Potato having a T3?
Also very quickly worth
I believe in correct logging. If it's supposed to be a permanent tier 3, it needs to be a 100-year tier 3.
And it wouldn't be the first
People without the temporal signs
we take a look at that one
are in a limbo.
Like,
why does it exist on you without a temporal that has 100 years on it? Which is effectively infinity, so I know someone gave it to you for infinity. Or like a month standard, like if type tier 3.
There's a third, there's a fourth. And now with the attack operator on the battlefield,
that's why I started giving all the permas 100 years, so I know who has the permanent one.
An Omen Smoke in a lobby with the stun, take control of that space, and
yeah, last 100-year tier 3 temporal.
He's not gonna be
Doubt
jump
it.
peeking this for too long unless they're not
I
aware
think
that
you
he
and
picked
I
up that
will
operator.
both
And if
be
he's
dead
not, he might get
in
punished
100
for
years.
it. So.
They should.
Yeah.
Given where he died, given how much time was left in the round, you'd imagine that's right here. Not something that they are not privy to.
Let's see, Vanity's still jump spotting this. Now Zekken takes the line. I don't know, maybe Vanity spotted him last second. Where that drone baited him into re-clearing garage.
That drone also baited the Paranoia out.
Yep. It's painting the picture for John right now of what the defense fortifications are like for Cloud9.
Sentinels are doing such a good job of starving Cloud9 of any bit of information and just forcing Paranoia into their own thoughts.
Oh, and on the minimap right now, I'm seeing a exchange of rifles, so it will be Zekin entering in. He is sitting at 50 HP, though. That alarm bot being broken should prompt a speed up from Sentinels. That's why the dash is coming out on sight.
What kind of threat is that, Robin?
He just got caught lacking.
The timing of this kid's insane. That's not the first time we see that happen. And so Zekin will fill in, take all of that space with his 46 HP, which he doesn't seem to care about at all. Get the spike down, now they can take a step back.
Oh, Sakon might very well be frozen. The bot just randomly decides that it doesn't want to anymore. And there's nothing in the logs either, so it's not really easy to find out why.
Even if he goes down here, you've got
stops.
So yeah, oh, well done. Also, like,
there's a really small timing window.
Someone needs to actually maybe this is frozen. Someone did some, I think.
Trying to cut him down. Meanwhile, John's position here is perfect. As Saucy pops the ult, you know he's being pushed. Moose trying to get active. He will clean him up.
What the fuck?
Settle the shots.
John?
Not supposed to go that way. Well done by Cloud9.
Oh, 0.77 for Cloud9.
That's not acceptable, John. What have we just watched?
Yeah, John, I mean, he should have connected that spray, but that alarm bot maybe just messing with his sightlines, messing with his crosshair in that moment.
That put right over his head, man.
Yeah, it would have been on point. Didn't overflick it. Sachi did a really good job, and yeah, it was just that right there. I wonder if the Killjoy turret actually hit him in the head, and it kind of like knocked his crosshair up. You know, that aim punch?
Sure.
I wonder if that was the difference maker in that round.
Did you get aim punched by a turret?
Surely would have went
actually know.
Now I wonder. And is it only if you get hit in the head?
In the hands of Oxy.
Certainly an
Celsius one
interesting
away from his
question.
Rolling Thunder. John QT not far off from his ult either. You take a look at the
Wyatt, at some point it's going to be hard to believe that you are objectively better than Robin in so many
Look at
aspects.
all the space Vanity has taken already. He's in Cubby. If they try to NC, Oxy's there for the first challenge with the op. Vanity swings out. That's a nightmare.
Oh my gosh, this smoke top C is genius. They're gonna re-clear Vanity now. Vanity gets one though, he's gotta get out.
He's got a Paranoia to buy some time. There's really no way for him to get out. He tries to TP, tries to get away, and he's caught off the spam. Oxy joined in on the fray, tried to clean up the mess that was left.
I mean, that I believe. I have no idea what
with all that happening, Sachi
rank
was
either of
in
you
A
are.
by himself, and he heard the players on A.
No reason not to believe him.
off, because there's a player top short. I think it was Zeppa. Zeppa made noise running away from A site, so now this is free. 4v3, we've seen this happen before. What can Zeppa do?
The first to join the fray, waiting for reinforcements to arrive, and now is faced with a one-way.
30 seconds left.
That's so miserable.
That spike not being planted yet can work in Cloud9's favor. They might have an opportunity here, but they're gonna have to speed up. Oh, and that Paranoia just delays any type of push.
Oh, the Paranoia and then the lockdown too. You're forced to sit back.
Yeah, this has got to be a save. By the time you get back in, unless Sentinels make another mistake, there's no way you're winning this
67.
round.
No, not with Zelsis having his role.
Vi and Robin's definitely going to be in the retirement home just playing Valorant.
Tucks back.
That I can see.
A little bit of time. And that is the biggest difference maker here. 3-4 for the controller. Sentinels get to 7.
Last round before the switch. Last round to use our creds and don't waste.
See the replay on that. This was that initial exchange. It was a nice kill, but it's just so hard to get out from a spot like that. He really had to commit that Omen ult if he wanted any chance, and that's so hard to do on the fly like that.
Enemy remaining.
And then the post plant utility. Ten's getting 4 to finish the round. Sentinel's firing at all cylinders right now, and John needs to be careful here. He might get spammed in window, putting that turret down.
You saw there was certainly an attempt.
Yeah, escapes with his life.
Cloud9 getting active here, taking a bunch of the middle of the map. Vanity off the Parano. What's the swing? Oh, they're trapped. They have nowhere to go. They've got the Thrash coming in on one side. They've got a Crunch coming in mid from the other. But John QT was ready. Able to punish and get one.
Spike down A.
A disastrous round for
John
Sentinels.
being ready there is
What
crazy.
a trap.
That spike down and short as well. It's up to
It's
the
always
duo.
it's always
I mean, they got
pretty
the
incredible
mechanical
what
talent
all the
to do
pros
this, but will
just
Cloud9 give them
do.
the opportunities?
A 2v4
They
here
just intuit it as well.
would be something special.
Right there. There's no way you know that Rooney's sitting here in heaven, right?
No. Perched up.
Oh, another thrash as well.
Like a guardian looking over the site.
Wait a second.
Zekin's on the prowl.
Uh-oh.
He's creeping closer, and I don't think Rooney knows. He turns at just the right time. But Zekin's there to punish.
That's the first, and there's still 40 seconds, Doug.
But they still have to get the spike. I mean, that's going to be the hardest part of this. Look at every other member on the side of Cloud9 staring at the smoke.
30 seconds left.
And Zekin's down to 6 HP. The spams are just a threat. There's certainly no way in. There's certainly no way they make this happen. Vanity with 3 on the round, looking for the 4th, and he will find it. Cloud9 gets a 5.
Yeah, and with the way that this map was going, SEN were in full control, so good job of SEN to bring this one back and keep it competitive. They have a real chance right now on their attacking half. If they can secure the pistol round, who knows?
That trap
Yes, Thresh sometimes definitely just becomes an info.
Both traps that they had, this one.
I'd even say info chaser, right?
Earlier in the half,
It's good to
that was invested in Vanity.
just track people.
I mean, he's willing to play up close and dirty in your face with that.
But it's mostly about knowing
Ever the selfless
what
caller,
utility is
ever
good for
the
what.
selfless
Right?
leader. We're gonna throw it down to
It's
a
like it's the fastest Skydog in that regard.
So as you can see, C9, they are down, and I'm kind of curious to know, how did Sentinels get to where they are today?
I mean, it all started with the clutches in that half. They had 2 within 3 rounds, I think, to catapult themselves into control. This one from Zelsis is what started it all. And I can't help but remember this last game from Cloud9, where they were giving away some of these late round clutch opportunities, where the trading wasn't quite perfect. And I mean, this that got given to Sentinels, they used that to get a great half here.
For sure, and it feels like for both sides, they really were down to these clutch moments. But this just being an insane kind of clutch, not able to get it to half for C9, and just being able to swing and get that pick for Sentinels. It's just been so good. And then they always are able to come back to their mid-rounding to kind of solidify and get them into those spots in the first place.
I think SEN did a really good job of shutting Oxy down in some of these mid-rounds. C9 put a lot of resources into getting him on early fights, especially on a map like Haven, and SEN did a good job of shutting that down. Now Cloud9 have that same task in the second half. If SEN can win the pistol, get Zekin and Op online early, that'll give John QT as a caller a ton of options here, which makes Cloud9's life very difficult.
Yeah, both players really putting up a show and putting up a fight to show who is a little bit more aggressive and able to get those picks as the Jet, and both just playing absolutely phenomenally.
Absolutely, yeah. Mimi, you didn't get your neon, but I mean, Zek been pulling it on the Jet. So
I'm happy with how both of these teams have been playing around their
What
Jet.
are we doing
I think
anyways?
Sentinels
Why are
really
we
well knew the win condition of shutting down Oxy to get into these
still
mid-rounds.
chilling?
Absolutely. Let's toss things back to the casters.
Finally. I don't know how long these half times are.
Thank you so much, Akeem. Dre, one of the things we didn't mention a ton that is worth talking
I
about
wonder,
is the resilience that Cloud9 showed.
They're definitely just getting back into the game right now. It feels weird. It feels like the half times are just getting longer and longer every single time they play.
Very impressive.
Yeah, to be fair, they got a couple of freebies of their own because of Sentinels, you know, specifically in those post plants, you know, most notably that John QT one where he flanked in the garage, couldn't connect that spray. But still, a very competitive half, and yeah, fight back. And it's been tied up in first blood so far. So let's see if Oxy on this attacking side or Zekin on this defensive side can really take it away for any of their squads.
Mimi mentioned one of the win conditions for the defensive side would be getting Zekin online and active early, getting it out.
Damn, Zekin, chill.
That's an excellent start.
Yeah, the caster's talking about getting Zekin online early.
It's Oxy.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's online.
All of the go is gone.
It's hard to disagree at this point.
Spoke about the first bloods being a deciding factor in this next half and closing out this map for either side, and it was Zekin who stood up to the plate, and man, he batted 100% on those shots. That was crazy.
And so now Cloud9 on their back foot, trying to figure out where do they go from here? How do they approach the rest of this pistol?
It would take some grave mistakes, and already a dink on the moves from John, sitting in that
Don't let him plant.
That
Don't
spike
let
does
him
not get
plant.
planted, and
You
it's
ain't
on
getting
the
no
side
money from
of
me.
Sentinels.
Ooh,
If they
God.
keep swinging into him like that, they might be able to pull this thing off. Zeppa having to go forward, tries to clear the smoke, and just waltzes into his death.
Nice work.
It's the Kuronami Sheriff diff.
Again, I imagine we're going to see a replay of those shots. Those are some really clean shots. The follow-up, that was the one that was the nastiest. Forget
Show us
what's
up,
with
Zekin.
this first shot, right? It's this one that's so impressive. On the wide swing, 2 players already dialed in on your angle, and you're still going to hit that and get out of dodge with that jet. So quick. Crosshair placement, absolutely on point.
Not a whole lot you can do there. 13 and 8, and now an outlaw in hand.
That reaction is
get out.
Another one up onto Oxy. In this case, obviously, gun advantage the way of Sentinels. It is their buy round. Their anti-eco. Oxy, he tried. He had to hit a headshot if he wanted to do that. And he had that opportunity to, but just couldn't step up.
They're going to try to pounce out on the C anyway. They continue to feed the outlaw. They continue to feed the beast that is Zekin. Rooney with no real choice. No real place to go. Will fall again. Sentinels get to 9.
And on top of that, only a stinger dropped.
Yeah.
So Sentinels going into this first buy round for Cloud9. They have a healthy buy.
You take a look at it one more time. These kills are, I mean, you look at them and you go, yeah, it was an eco, yeah, it was an outlaw, sure. But again, I want to call back to what Mimi was saying on the desk. Getting an op in the hands of Zekin as early as possible is so pivotal to the success of Sentinels here. Not just because you've got an op in the hands of your star, but because it allows John to call the game the way he wants. Oh! This kid is so good.
Don't need an operator when you got the outlaw. It's basically a pocket op at this point with the way this kid's using it.
This would be a disastrous round for Cloud9 to lose here.
Bomb grenade out.
It's a good molly from Moose to get rid of that alarm bot. I believe it was pulled back by John right in time, and oh my goodness.
It's not getting any better.
No way,
it's not
dude.
getting any better.
Shouldn't work.
It's all under Rooney. He
How?
doesn't have the spike.
How does that happen?
Is
oh my god.
I mean, what were Cloud9 supposed to do in this round? Like, tell me. I feel like most of the kills,
shit,
nice
I was
one
just
tap
being
from
off,
Rooney.
but
Good follow
oh
by
my
10.
god.
But the crowd could.
Who's screaming in the back?
Most of the kills in this round were through a wall.
And I'm pretty sure they're a Rooney
fan.
fan.
Blind. I mean, look at this. Vanity, no chance.
A very big one at
Look at this
that.
for Moose, no chance. And look at this. Stunned, flash.
Fully
no
blind
chance.
and stunned. You can't
really make that one up.
No.
There's nothing you can do about that one.
That's no all momentum the way of Sentinels. And remember, the one difference that I'm seeing here compared to the first half was when Cloud9 got pushed, they punched back. Yes, it was Oxy. Yes, it was Moose. Rooney had a big moment there, but it doesn't seem like it's happening at all here in the second half.
Yeah, hopefully this time out, last time out for Cloud9 is a wake-up call to bring it back, at least make it kind of relatively close on their map pick of Haven. But like I said, the way that last round went, that could be really tilting for a team. I mean, no one really had a chance right there. Vanity, yeah, like he saw him for a second in short, but to get wallbang with both shots,
that's so frustrating.
It's frustrating. And then yeah, Moose, he knows he has to make a play, do something. He mollied that alarm bot early on, so I don't blame him for trying to take that timing front B. And then he goes up against a John QT who's just spraying him with a bulldog through a wall.
It's a tough spot to be in. Zekin one away from having his blades out while still in hand, now with full armor. Meanwhile, if you take a look at Cloud9 and what tools they have at their disposal, a couple of stingers make that 3 now, and Zeppa has his ult. Given the deficit they're facing, Dre, I don't know if that's something you want to be cautious on pulling the trigger on. If there's an opportunity, you have
The
to
moment
strike.
you've been waiting for.
A first blood would be great for the way of Cloud9.
Oh,
but
someone with heavy
I'm
armor.
looking at Zekin with this outlaw against 4 players that have light armor.
Yeah.
And I just think he's going to have a feast. I mean, he might be sitting on this gun for the rest of the half.
What a setup. A fault line, a dart, and then Zekin.
What kind of dart is that? What dart was that?
He's eliminated.
That's a
without
dart
seeing
for
an opponent.
window from A.
I'm just not allowed to play the game.
He darted.
Oh yeah.
No, it wasn't window.
Oh, we're
was it
investing in
outside.
a
No, he
thrash and a
darted
4v5. It does
in
give you
window
a
or
free
was it
sight and a connection.
outside? And he was outside.
Oxy goes aggressive, follows.
Wow.
Pass that was
I don't
left. John QT falls, a weapon upgraded. Still has 8 in damage. 10's over the top, dropping Oxy.
No, look
It
behind
just
you.
looks so easy I mean, can Cloud9 respond? The Vandal that they had has been dropped. Second with Blades online. They're not finding lethality, but he stays alive. Celsius might just clean this thing up on his own. Sentinels get to 11. The slaughter is in full effect.
I hate to say it, but probably best to play as a team.
Do feel bad for C9.
Tens played that round to perfection, Doug. He was sitting on the top of C. He didn't panic when everyone was splitting him from garage. There's a player long. He dodges the Omen Flash, gets his kill. And this is the Tens that I like the most. He got out and survived for Celsius to come and support and clean up house. It was beautifully played. This is why this Sentinels roster has been so good as of this year.
Unacceptable.
And honestly, a little bit of last year. I say that we're going straight into a C hit. Shouldn't be much opposition to be faced here. But it's the disciplined game and approach from all these players that you would think, you know, Tens. He's the star player. He likes to go out, do crazy things. The discipline from him has been so superb this year, and that's why he's been playing so good.
Keep an eye on John. His positioning there is gorgeous.
Even a follow-up Omen Flash if needed. John so confident to take that angle.
That's 2 on the round for the call.
John, you're cooking.
Second on the swing.
Oh my Zekit, good God.
Lose a gunfight in a really long time. Of course, as I say that, he falls, but it's still all success for Sentinels.
It's criminal. It's criminal.
Absolutely running away with this match. Running away with this map. And what's the next map, Doug? It's Split. One of Sentinel's best maps.
John was just making up for that other time in Garage where he whiffed like fuck.
In the game, period.
This was close for a half. It's just been all Sentinels all the way from that point on.
Yeah, that break that they took, it was much needed. They look fully motivated, in full effect, full force.
5 rounds in a row for the defensive side, and they've done it their own way.
I just gotta wait until they go play ranked and then Celsius and Zeppo play together.
They've been able to run
great time. All yelling.
This has just been so clean.
4 players converging onto A main right now. Vanity needs to get out of here and get out of here quick. Otherwise, that's no smokes available.
There's no real idea of what could be waiting on the other side. Still manages to rotate away. The smoke
Full
is
retake C.
John QT still in the same position, still trying to deal the same amount of damage. Leaves Moose with a brutal headache.
He's gonna get caught out here as well. Oh, some movement heard, so Moose the upper hand, but leave it to John to reposition and re-clear Moose.
It was off of the noise that he heard in spawn. It's just so effortless. It's such a smooth dance. And so now Sentinels will try to rotate over. The Rolling Thunder's gonna push them back though. John QT getting dropped, decapitated. But Sasi's doing the best of his own. Rooney's left alone. How in the world do you win a 1v4 in the face of that? You cannot.
Oh my God.
GG. Let's see if map 2 is also such a stomp, considering that.
Sit down, Zeppo. Sit down.
Okay, now I know what he said previously. Said, you are
considering this was C9's map pick, I'm
well, it's
wondering if the second
next,
map's gonna be such a stomp as well.
Ever the showman is Zelsis.
It is technically SEN's stomping ground. They have lost on Split on occasion, but you just fell down the stairs.
And that is their map. That is their playground. One of the most formidable teams
be like
on that arena.
70.
And somehow Cloud9 are going to have to figure out with short memory how they forget this. 13-5, the wave Sentinels. Second popped off. John QT popped off. All Sentinels all the way. We'll see you guys on the other side of this break. Don't go anywhere.
Oh no.
Aw, Jimmy Lin.
Hey guys, it's Jimmy Lin. In this series, I'm going to walk you through attack on Pearl. Watch out for the stairs, clear this angle. You're going to be able to fight this.
Am I, Jimmy? Am I going to be able to fight this?
I don't know.
gives you wings.
Sorry, body, for watering everything else, but letting you go thirsty.
I hope
Fear
everyone
no
is
more,
drinking
body.
water.
Get hydration boost with
Oh, that is a
hyaluronic
good
acid.
idea.
Hydro check.
6% hydrating
Hydration
serum wash
check.
for never dry times. Get Dove.
Don't forget.
Or get FOMO.
Drink up. Drink up.
Don't forget to move as well. If you've been sitting in your chair for more than 1 hour, just get up. Just move your feet a bit.
You guessed it. Cheating! Woo! Yeah, it's cheating. And there's only one way to make a commercial with Kumail Nanjiani, even though he's currently competing in a triathlon in Hawaii. By cheating.
Big on protein, low on sugar, huge on flavor.
It's basically cheating.
Quest, it's basically cheating.
400 clubs in the only one will win the esports World Cup. The more matches you own, the more games you own.
No, vodka is very notorious for dehydrating you. I think that's the opposite of what you want. No, it doesn't. Doesn't count.
You're one step closer to owning the future. We're starting our descent into Surmajan International Airport. And being remembered forever.
True comfort can't be faked.
My water bottle is empty. I gotta go fill it back up.
Fall in love with new Haagen-Dazs New York strawberry cheesecake. That's Dazs.
This strawberry gore?
At Universal Technical Institute, it's about more than getting an education. It's following your passion, honing your skills, and building a future. With 15 industry-aligned training programs, discover a path for you.
Making it to this day was probably my greatest accomplishment of graduating and being able to say that I made it through.
Industry-aligned, various class schedules, career search support. See what's possible at uti.edu.
But again, bodies onto this one for any chance of winning. Sticking, crashes forwards all the way, but not enough. Celsius wraps it up.
From Sentinels. I mean, you just took it around with it, that map. That was, maybe that was Cloud9's map pick, but that was your map you ran away with. They were talking to Dusk about how this game plan seems to be you need to set Zekken up in order to let him succeed and let John call the game he calls. What are your thoughts on that?
You know, I actually feel very lucky to have Zach as a player because he's so good at carrying and fragging, but he's such a good commer, such a good teammate, such a good duelist, and he's not a very emotional player, so we don't feel like we have to set him up or give him a hot start. We just feel like we can play what makes sense strategically. Zach will do his job, and he'll find his way into the game, and I think that showed there. Like, he had a little bit of a slow start, and he really just took it away when we needed it. Yeah.
Well, on to your bread and butter next, so best of luck.
Thank you very much.
Welcome back, everyone. Well, that was Haven. We're headed to Split. I mean, I feel like Sentinels just ran away with that map. I mean, like in the beginning, you know, we were talking about all the clutches that they had, and they won the entire thing.
Yeah, I mean, they absolutely carried the momentum in the second half. But I want to touch on something that we heard there in the interview with Kaplan, saying that Zekken is not an emotional player. He doesn't need those hot starts. And I think that's a very interesting contrast to Oxy, because I feel like for Cloud9, if Oxy isn't getting a hot start, if he isn't getting energetic, bringing the vibe, the energy for the team, that's when we see them really struggle.
Yeah, I mean, usually a lot of their game plan is built around setting up Oxy, and this is now 2 games in a row where the team has failed to win a single round of attack, which is crazy, and they must turn that around, not just to win in this series, but to like have a decent stage too.
Yeah, so I'm kind of curious. Do we think that they're just starting off too hot on C9's end, and it's like they might need to like kind of dial things back?
It's the opposite problem. They don't start off hot. It's
well, hot in like the sense that they're just gunning it and just not really like. It doesn't seem like I don't know how much strategy there is there though.
Well, I mean, honestly, like, for example, in this game, it's like pistols into a round 3 loss is the biggest problem, right? Like, second pulls out the outlaw, is getting a double wall bang off of a dart.
In, like, every round on their
now we're getting to the important
and it's like small things too, like C9 aren't breaking darts.
I mean, the first half, first blood success, it doesn't look crazy, right? 3-1. But then the second half, I know it's cut off a little bit there, but 100% success rate on getting that first blood is actually insane because Zekin was playing aggressive, whether it was on attack, defense. He really did his job every single time. He was able to come out and trade. And every single time, it just felt like he was so solid with his game plan, with his operator, with his Vandal, rifling, and
the outlaw,
the outlaw, everything.
For me, that stat at the top paints the picture of this match.
13-5.
Yeah. Well, that is one, but the other thing.
That is a pretty banger last name.
Cloud9 is really reliant on getting Oxy opening kills and setting him up for success, and they weren't able to achieve that in this one. He got shut down in the first half, and Zekin was completely dominant in the second, especially shutting down these fast entries. It was a lockout for SEN.
I think it's worth to talk about, too, that Oxy wasn't actually playing bad or anything. Like, he was actually doing pretty good, too, and he was just getting shut down. Like, there was literally nothing that it felt like he could do, and as well as C9 around him couldn't really figure out what the plan was.
Yeah, well, you know what? Let's hear what the C9 coach has to say before we head to map 2.
Here, the coach of Cloud9, Emmy, running away with your map pick of Haven.
What would
but
you coach
I want to ask you something, because we're going into Sentinel's
what's
bread
your
and butter
preferred field of
split.
expertise to coach?
I'm assuming you worked on Sentinel split, so
I'll
what are your
fall down
thoughts
the
on how are
stairs.
you going to take down that classic Sentinels map?
Oof.
I mean, everyone kind of plays like Sentinels now, so we've had a lot of practice against it, and we were well prepared on split last season. We only played EG on it, but we didn't want to pick it last season because we wanted other teams to pick it versus us. So we'll just wait and see. Let's see how it goes.
Do they fall into your trap?
Last season, only EG picked it, yeah.
Well, best luck on map 2.
All right, so Coach Emmy was talking about last year and how EG fell into their trap.
Last stage, yeah.
Yes, he was talking on stage, yeah. But no, he was talking about how EG fell into their trap. Do we think Sentinels will be susceptible to, I guess, whatever they think Sentinels is cooking up?
I mean, I don't know. I feel like Split is like one of Sentinel's best maps, so I don't think they fell into any trap. Right?
I mean, to give the benefit of the doubt, I guess, to C9 is that Sentinels have been anti-stratted on that map before and struggled a bit, right? Like at tail end of playoffs to
even in Madrid. They were losing.
Madrid. That's the one. I was like, they weren't at Shanghai. It was the other one. But yes, but honestly, I have no doubts about Sentinels anymore. I think they've really built out their split playbook.
Yeah, I believe during our predictions, didn't we predict that Sentinels they were gonna run away with this one?
I think most people did, and I think it's a reasonable prediction. If C9 was going to get on here, I think we needed to see a really hot start from Oxy. I think we needed to see them getting online early. SEN can sometimes have a little bit of warm-up times into games, as we saw in that one, but now I think these players are really locked in. Zekin is going into a map where
I need more materials, but they don't exist on my server, and I can't really
I think this is
server travel.
His best map is in IGL, especially on the attack side.
For sure. I feel like, especially coming from that Haven where their mid-rounding was so good, and the way that they ended and closed
more, I just
rounds,
don't want to do it in case I get
stuck
somewhere.
Aside from the clutches, I feel like going into Split where you're just that much more confident, you're that much more versed.
So 4 of these.
Super good. And honestly, I doubt either of these teams are going to pull out some new crazy comp to kind of
cheaper to just buy
get away with it. So I'm not sure exactly what trap he was talking about, or if there is some sort of a counter strat.
Yeah, I bet it's just like a good understanding of what the Sentinels comp wants to do.
Yeah, he was also talking about a trap stage 1, not this stage. They're not as confident on it as they were then. Obviously, they've practiced it to leave it open, but that's what I was reading into from that interview. Comps coming up here, and not a huge surprise. It's going to be back to that solo Sky comp that's been pretty standard for most teams from Cloud9.
I think the main thing here is to just stick with what's tried and true, because you just want to, I think at this stage in the game, I think Sentinels, they just want to win. They're not going to break out anything that's like...
I hope so.
That's out of the ordinary, you know.
It's straight up mirror matchup. It's always a good one with Sentinels in the server here on Split.
All right, well, you know what? Let's find out
Right,
if Cloud9 can turn
Paladins
things
level
around
100.
and send it back to your casters. Here's Doug and Baby Bay.
Be happy.
Thank you so much, Akeem. Split on the cards. We'll see if Cloud9 are able to figure this out, because not only is there history between Zelsis and Cloud9 and Sentinels, but there's a lot of history between Cloud9 and Sentinels to begin with. The last 3 times they've played, Cloud9 has come out on top. In fact, Sentinels have not beat Cloud9 in the partnership era at all. So we've got something insane cooking here.
Interesting. Yeah, that's some crazy lore that I wasn't even aware of until just right now when you brought that up. That is absolutely a ridiculous
Oh
stat.
shit, we're starting soon. I gotta put my
Zelsis on this roster of Sentinels, the one who took out Sentinels last year to be the deciding factor. Him and John, they've been so good, these new players that were recruited by Sentinels in the off season, and we've seen them win tournament already,
with plenty more to come. The last time Sentinels beat Cloud9 was May 2021.
That's absurd.
But an opportunity to do it here. Sentinels on the attack. We've talked so much about how good they are on this map, how proficient they are.
Mirrored teams.
You imagine it will
shit,
be tested here. Cloud9 seldom go down without a fight. They pushed G2
that's
last
a
week.
statistic
Now
I
they're gonna have
want.
to do the same against Sentinels.
How many games are mirrored and how many aren't?
Nade for nade and mid.
Just the split comp, I guess.
Pushed all the way into vents here, but that is space gathered. He gets healed up to full. Such a slow approach right now. 50 seconds.
It's honestly really.
I wouldn't be sure about that one.
Think about how many times they fully cut noise.
Yeah.
No different here, but you're right. 40 seconds left in the round now. And they've got John, who's gone exploring up A just a little bit.
He's trying to bait a rotation maybe or something. Maybe off of this contact B heaven, he'll take even more real estate up.
I think that's more like it. 100.
Clock is ticking. 25 seconds
broken.
now.
They're gonna run into a blender right here in Vance. Oh, the half clear. It still works though. Zeppa.
Rooney and Zeppa
Damn.
here. You're right. Zeppa gets 3. Vanity gets the last. It's another pistol the way of Cloud9.
Jeez, good work from Cloud9. It seems like these rounds, when it's just super slow from Sentinels, they tend to favor Cloud9. This time the proactivity, the dip into the bottom of vents, and then the re-walk up slowly with no utility.
5 dead.
Sentinels were just not quite ready for that. I can't believe Zekin even got that kill in the vent. He half cleared it and then got the flick with the right click. That's so hard to do.
Yes, you're just that good sometimes.
Classic RNG, definitely in his favor.
Big round out from Zeppa there.
Exactly, another pistol round win from the side of Cloud9. We saw what happened on the last map. Surely it doesn't happen twice.
Surely not, right?
I mean,
Zekin's already backside. But Zeppa and Moose able to settle things. The weapon difference here, proving to be the difference maker. 6 HP for the duelist. And he falls to his own hands.
Yeah, not wanting to give an ult orb. I don't blame him whatsoever. Good work from Zekin.
Yeah, with
that round.
no ult orb thing, it
Doesn't
definitely
give
makes sense. But
anybody else in ult orb on the
what a
side
fun
of Cloud9.
thing to see on the
Probably
big
would have been
stage.
better if he dropped there to somebody else, because Zeppa was already dead in that round and couldn't build up close to that Sky ultimate anyway. But you know what? Cloud9, it was way cleaner than the Haven match. I'll tell you that. And that's not something you
I
see
really
every
needed
day.
that POV.
I needed it too. It's good.
Zekin, the only one on the top right now. 3 kills. It will be the first gun round for Sentinels. A semi-healthy buy from the side of Cloud9. That judge, though, on Oxy, that could be really deadly.
It'd be devastating.
Yep. On this map, we've seen so many players use it. Remember Champs last year, we saw Hong Kong absolutely running it down on the Raze judge on this map.
I'm gonna be right back.
You've got one of the grandfathers of it in the server right
Hi.
now in Vanity.
Yeah.
And oddly enough, he's the one with the Bulldog. The only rifle on the defensive side.
Passing the reins to the young kid, you know?
We'll see if he's able to do anything with it. You see the nade, you see the flash. Intended to create some space mid, but Zekin doesn't take it.
Poison's off.
Oh, and while all that happens, that trip gets broken at B. Lurk orb goes up, so this could be
That's just 3
free
mid,
A site
man.
right now. Now you see the defenses of Cloud9 starting to go more towards the sites, but because that trip was broken B, there's 3 players geared towards there.
Vanity's so dead unless Zeppa gets a really nice timing, but the cage goes up, the paranoia out as well. He's kind of been out of the play. Now he tries to strike, but Tens is ready to greet him.
Oh, spam could have been great for Rudy, doesn't quite connect. And now this is a near impossible retake from the side of Cloud9. Trip and Spawn will give info that someone's there.
A Spectre, there's the Judge. Oxy trying to find some value with it. But Sentinels disciplined and cautious in their approach.
Yeah, John saw that Judge on that peak.
Oh, he knows.
He saw Oxy pulling that out, so he got to dodge really quickly. And for Oxy right now, he's going for any type of exit kills he can get. Not on the board yet. He's just going to get flanked for free. And now Zekin, another ult orb closer. A flawless round, Doug.
Flawless round.
Nice
save for
job.
Saucy, but yeah, that's great.
That was a great round.
What more could
My
you
goodness.
possibly ask for?
Yeah, on your first gun round, to come away unscathed.
Oh my
like
God,
that,
Dunko.
just your armor,
Hip was about
that's
to
way more than
invade
ideal.
you.
A lot of teams go
what
into
the
this
hell?
thinking, oh, okay, we're going to drop a couple guns
Wait, is
at
he
least,
actually?
but we'll definitely secure
Apparently?
the round, right? We have gun advantage.
Right.
But with the way that this game has been going with some of these bonuses, man, I mean, it's some of these
See you, Potato.
teams, they cook up crazy strats on the bonus rounds. With Sentinels, the way that they default
Don't give them ground.
kind of denies that ability to set a trap. It's been a heavy mid focus all 3 rounds so far from Sen, it feels like.
Yeah.
Slow walk up with a nade and event. I wonder when they flip the switch and send Zekin in there, guns ablazing. Little satchel action.
Oh, it doesn't
I
look
assume
like
Robin
it's
is
gonna be the
asking
case
for a
this
more
round. At least
specific
not early.
area than
Just trying to
Germany.
play off these Viper orb timings. Oh, Span almost connects. Wow, what a fight from Cloud9 in mid. Can they get out away?
Zeppa does. Looks like Rooney will
Well,
join him.
Zeppa's the only one that can heal, and Zeppa's the one
Mad
that's low, so
advantage
it's
now for
fine.
Cloud9. Oop.
Yes.
Little tag on Oxy there. Gets dropped low. You imagine right now Zeppa's going to
Too
come back around.
low.
Get
He's
healed.
rotating to get heals.
They're reconvening in CT.
Yeah.
Everyone getting healed up. Zeppa, the only one
You
that's gonna be sitting
responded
on
to
health with
them.
8 HP to his name.
You clicked reply in the message that included
wants
the
to get
word
info.
Germany in it.
Yeah, Seeker's invested with 45 seconds left in the round.
I don't understand. What did you reply to then if you didn't
Cabbages
see
pursue.
the word Germany?
Sentinels clears him out, and there's still a lot of time for
I
them
guess
to
is
figure this
my
one out too.
bigger question.
Double drop an event might have been heard by that Cypher cam.
Which was the intent,
He
and
thought-
then the spit out.
Yeah, the problem is that camera not breaking.
I mean, if you're connecting, you probably want to have a Frankfurt or Munich, I assume.
Yeah, there's not enough to dissuade. There's not enough to manipulate.
Robin was not
Oxy getting
right
just
to
the tiniest
ask.
of margins
The
on
the
Zekin.
outcome just happened to be
John
so
on the trade now, 2v4.
because he did
The
need
way
the
of defense,
clarification
13
for
seconds
it.
left. The spike still has to get scooped up and planted.
10 seconds left.
There's going to be just enough time, assuming they don't meet any resistance, but they're getting trapped. They're getting surrounded. Zeppa from down the
What?
This was a 2v4. Can Moose stop it? Gets it down to 1. The swing out is there.
Oh my
And the
God.
Sentinel settles for Cloud9.
You're absolutely
no.
right, though. It was a 4v2.
That almost could have been.
It should have been way more clean, but a win is a win.
No good.
Regardless, and Moose, again, winning in that head-to-head against John. The 1v1 game. And that's why you see the disrespect being shown.
Take a look at that one more time. There's this fight mid that you were
fight mid was
mentioning. I mean, they refuse to relent in that area. And for good reason.
Yeah, they played the timing so well. The 1v2 at the end there. Zal says he did a really good job bringing that one back. And all of a sudden, it's a very early timeout from the side of Sentinels. Yeah, look at him. He knows that was way too close for wear.
I mean, it's a very early
Danger close.
timeout.
We'll see what the adjustments are on the other side of this as Kaplan takes a moment to try to talk to his troops. And I wonder here, we've talked so much about Sentinels and how their intentions at the beginning of these attack side rounds are to work the middle of the map, draw out any utility you can. As there's pressure across the middle, clear out the trip B, you know, try to take some space up ramps, as John has done a couple of times.
Oh.
That's terrifying. What's going on there? What's going on there? But I wonder here on the other side of this timeout, what the adjustments are. Is this the moment that they try to add a little bit of pace to the situation? Is this when they let Zekin go?
I think they will. I think you're going to see more A-ramp for certain. I mean, they haven't really tested the waters on that area of the map yet, and clearly the mid default that they're doing, Cloud9 are kind of ahead with that util exchange. They're filling in the gap of when that Viper smoke goes down. All of a sudden, they showed a mix of, okay, we're going to drop our orb, but all three of us are going to be in the open, willing and ready to fight you. So they've showed a lot of different looks in mid so far from the side of Cloud9. And I think that's going to have to prompt something more in either A, heaven, or maybe something explosive in mid. Maybe disrespect in the actual orb, because
he doesn't use the bounce lineup.
Pace in mid hasn't really.
It doesn't even look like he was lining anything up, anyways.
Well, all of that discourse has led to disappointment.
Yeah.
As there's nothing fast, there's nothing aggressive, there's nothing pacey at the beginning of the round.
It makes sense. There's quite a bit of teams after a timeout, even on the defensive side, when it's not yours, that come out aggressive. They want to do a crazy play. So it's kind of good to do what we call a red wall, which is kind of you stay on the barriers and just hold.
I think most people use the balance one, but Rooney is also like not.
Dog does re-clear all of it around.
Was not really a lineup person.
That's often the lurk. So I wonder here, given that they saw John,
maybe Rooney's
they're starting to rotate
ghetto
away from
util person at heart.
Yeah, this jiggle from Moose should get the info for rotations to come back, and they raise and Cypher seed now.
And there's just not, I mean, this is taking a little bit too long.
Double trip setup here. No open. Like, this rocket might connect.
Oh my god, he gets a kill anyways.
Vanity now falling. Saucy getting the spike down. They're still gonna have to deal with these two trips that are waiting on the other side.
No way, there's no way. There's another trip, another trip.
Oh, he just barely jumps that trip.
Oh no, he what?
Stays alive.
How did I get hit by that trip?
Valorant gods want 10s to live today.
There's no way.
We'll see how much longer they want that. We'll see how much longer they're able to keep that at bay. Celsius on the prowl. Look at his positioning. Look at his timing. Look at his discipline. And now the molly to deny as Moose tries to get past it, tries to disrespect it. It's a flawless round for Sentinels.
Damn.
Making it look easy on the lurk.
What a round.
Hitting all the shots with the spray. You don't need a headshot. Just get the kill, secure it. That's exactly what he did.
And take a look at it one more time.
There's that rocket.
I mean, what do you really do there? Yeah.
Yep. Didn't even have a chance. He knows he's got to give more respect next time around. But it was this flank that was in fruition from the start of the round. Celsius was so aggressive from the beginning of that round, and that's why he got that aggressive lurk timing as well.
Hoxie getting.
Oh, he's gonna get this. Whoa! Barely brings it back.
Better late
Lucky
than
he
never.
managed to get one, but he should have gotten two there, I guess.
So awkward.
Or at least 1.5.
Not looking at you, you know. As soon as Zekin tries to flick at him,
yeah, I think 1.5 is more like it.
The shot. But while all that's happening, full info gathered from John, investing that Cypher ultimate into this round. What?
I'm sorry?
Zappa giving Sentinels a taste of their own medicine, but Celsius again with these lurk timings. He's got all this space gathered. That's the only player that was on A.
They know where he is now after he dealt a couple of parting shots to Moose. And that will certainly confirm things.
Oh yeah, free rifles gathered. There's another one down in mid, I believe, that they can grab.
Yeah, it seems like that's exactly where they're headed. Oh, Rune just scooped up a Sheriff and the Phantom now.
Yeah,
so they are going to have some weaponry. As the paranoia comes out, Sentinels have already tried to establish themselves on the site, but patient in their approach, not fully committing to getting the spike down yet. First the pit, first the cover, first you deal with Vanity. But Cloud9,
not backside, front side, front side.
Slowly creeping their way forward. Again, remember the two rifles that they have in their hands. Zappa the only one without the heavier artillery is Moose on the drop.
One drop,
Span
one
not
drop.
connecting. 7 bullets left. 2 members waiting on the other side.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
It's a jump scare.
All right, well, it was a good try.
Cleans him up.
That was actually pretty winnable for a second.
Lonesome. And the spam betrays him. Saucy cleans him up. We're tied at 3.
Very good round, but very well executed.
Need to study this demo of how Celsius has been playing. He's been doing such a great job.
You need proper naming convention, Robin. There's still a lot of them that are improperly named.
This was a 3v4 with 2 rifles that were upgraded from the side of Cloud9. Yeah, no chance at all there for John. But I mean, to be fair, Sentinels have been doing that to Cloud9 all series long.
Sure.
It's getting a little taste of their own medicine, but they're still able to bring that round back, and it's because of Celsius.
Mind the early nade. Seemed like they were going to try to go a little bit faster here. And the Viper Wall that they have up is intended to do that. When you see that Viper Wall go up, you know it's normally a fast hit A.
This wall is not
As Zach can get
correct.
timing here.
Does you see
this player in heaven
Still, the
just barely misses.
The wall is like
This is such a pretty setup. Zeppa though trying to cause a little bit of chaos.
I've made that mistake before.
And a lot of players showing in mid right now, so.
Ooh, unfortunate.
A very
the wall,
ambitious
you see,
peek
it doesn't
from
actually
Rooney
cover
there.
main.
Getting punished. I don't think he realized the entire
about to
threat
get
on the other
double
side, but Zeppa on the hunt. Got to spot one with 8 HP, understanding there's more. There's more danger to be had.
4-1.
And so he tries to get away, manages to do so, at least for now. Everything's slowing down as a 3v3 as the foot. The spike is still sitting outside of A main. Vanity's still trying to control it.
What?
And manages to do so. Gets it down to a 1v2. But it's the
Can we do a replay on that one, please?
Can he do it again?
30 seconds
8
left.
HP for Zeppa. Moose healthy, rotating over. Joining his teammate.
Insta timing taken by both players, Moose and Zeppa. Ooh,
No,
that's
that's unfortunate.
He will secure the 4th round for Cloud9. Zeppa, he lived for so long in that moment, Doug.
That shit here, mate.
It was nothing but a sliver of help from, I mean, if you think back through the round he just lived through, all of the fight
I probably didn't
beginning,
upload those
mid,
emojis, and I
trying to
probably
stay away,
need to go fix them,
Second
but I
trying to
don't
hunt him
really
down.
care that much right now.
He lived like 30 lifetimes in one round.
Yeah, he did.
That's stressful.
Vanity getting a double kill there.
He got out
No
with 8
good.
HP, and he played that to perfection.
No good.
I think Sachi missed his window of opportunity to take a main control, a ramp control, based off of everything that was happening in mid. And then go figure, by the time he waits for his teammate to come up with him, they get collided by Vanity.
Nope, the same Viper Wall. This might be the time that they start to dial some pace in as the Seekers go out. The flash goes through, second satcheling in. Blistering pace into this round. Tens is already TP'd back. I thought Vanity was going to stick that. Moose falls. The site entirely the way of Sentinels. Do Cloud9 flood here? They've got a couple of opportunities, but the problem is the window's gone.
Yeah, no flood will be in effect yet.
Spike planted.
Celsius still has that Viper Orb up. I think he's going to put it towards... They can just cycle smokes now. One way, Viper Orb goes up, or we can spread them out. That's why you see a smoke into heaven, and it looks like Cloud9 are not messing around with this whatsoever, for good reason.
They're saving.
Yeah.
Second just got that old off of the plan of the spike, and he pops it.
They're like,
Understandably
I'm
so.
out of here,
You wouldn't
man.
expect to save
I'm
here in a
out.
situation like this, but Cloud9 cut their losses with
We're
tail
saving.
between their legs. They rotate back B.
I actually don't mind this. The last 4v5 they had, there was a late lurk that secured the round. You know, that was Celsius. This time around, everybody was there, but still, you have so much to worry about in the last 4v5 that you had. And it's a pretty competitive half. Talking about a 4-4 half, it's been back and forth for the most part. Why not save these guns? Because they can have a lot of impact going forward. So a wise choice made, most notably probably by Vanity in that round. They will bring 4 rifles over. And this is so crazy to make a solo play pushing through that screen smoke. If Moose is already pushed up in that corner, Zekin drops
Nice.
there.
Yeah, he's dead. But again, that's what you would expect out of your duelist. Currently sitting at 10-5 for Sentinels.
Sometimes you just hit the flow state on that roll, and you're just a
Yeah,
god
SEN saving
amongst
there.
men in the server.
Does really make sense in my opinion.
Cloud9
Could also
calling a
see
timeout here,
Zeppa
Amy with
just
an opportunity to talk to his squad.
carefully check CT.
Oxy has been uncharacteristically quiet this half. 2-5 for the star. Meanwhile, it's been Zeppa who's been leading from the front.
Yeah, and he's somebody that I feel like goes under the radar quite a bit.
Sure.
I feel like a part of that is because he's been around for so long. People forget there's a reason why. He's been so good on Initiator. He's looked good on Raze in the past. Obviously, this time around, you know, when you have somebody like Oxy on your team, there's no point of putting yourself on Raze. But we've seen him play certain things in the double duelist. This time around, 9-5 on Sky. 1 off of the Seekers. Oxy's 1 off of Showstopper as well. So the ult economy for Cloud9 right now, it's coming out. Might allow them to snowball the rest of this half into their favor. They can get these online in this current round.
This is a really big opportunity for Cloud9. You imagine that's why Amy calls the timeout.
Yeah, this round kind of feels like it's a make or break it. Everyone's investing into it. If Cloud9 don't convert this round, their economy is bad, and all of a sudden Sentinels can run away with the half.
Ten's TPing away, but all of the noise that they just made forces Cloud9 to turn a lot of attention this way.
Yeah, this was a fast reclear though from Cloud9, so a really good job done. And now they can pivot towards that B site already, or maybe pivot and converge onto mid.
They've got to be fast, so you saw the flash shot from Zeppa towards A main. It doesn't tag anyone instantly. Laces it up and tries to get back B, understanding the timing. The smoke hits just when the moment called for it. And now it's a 1-for-1. Keep an eye on Zeppa. You've got Saucy waiting on the other side. Gives some of the space back. And now the spike planted. What's the approach here? How do Cloud9 get back into this?
Sashi's playing this so well. He fought out all the way back. And now this late flank is going to get immense value.
It's all about timing. Zelsis pushing forward with the nade at his feet. 10 spotting the barrel of the gun, dropping Oxy. It's disaster once more. Numbers now the way of the attack. Paranoia goes out. And the smoke, it's just a tap, it's just a threat. Zelsis is forced to challenge and check it.
Oh my god.
Dropping Vanity as he tries to find safe passageway. Zeppa's gotten it down to 1v2. Zelsis is so weak, but time is so short. It is of the essence. It has
giving
to be
them
now.
kills.
It is one, but the round goes away in Sentinels.
He spoke about how important this round was for Cloud9, but it's even more important for Sentinels to close out the rest of this half. The economy right now for C9, it's going to be a scrappy buy, to say the least. And Moose, he got caught lacking by second there. The trades went back and forth, but it was Sachi staying alive on that reclear of all of mid. They recleared market. They tried reclearing mid as much as they could, and you can't just keep sending one down the entire way.
Oh, such a tense round. I think the one silver lining, if you will, for Cloud9 is they didn't invest any of the ults that we were talking about. So they still have that to their advantage.
Ooh. Almost had the advantage with that paranoia. Info will be gathered, but now they have to give.
Camera taken out. It's very little follow-up, though. Vanity's going to drop a one-way back towards Garage, but it's immediately cleared by the dog and then Zekin taking the space.
Yeah, absolutely.
Alright, unless this goes 4-8, I think I gotta hit the sheet.
Towards mid, not going to tag
I think
anyone.
you hit it now before
turn their
you
attention towards B a little bit without concern.
We watched
What's happening
halftime.
behind them? Orb goes up, and that's often a threat, and the threat is realized. Very nice.
But maybe I
trade
just
up
go at
for Oxy,
halftime no
but
matter
he's got
if Sentinels gets 8 or not.
I think somebody's close on U-Box. He's doing a really good job being solo here. Celsius is a magician right now. He gets spotted now, but he might get out alive.
Hocus Pocus is his way through that.
No way, and he keeps 2 members there the whole
It
time.
isn't
Now
really
there's
sound
members of
cross-fallacy.
Sentinels
I'm not
on
like,
A
oh, I
side.
already started watching, I must finish it. It's
Cloud9 are
just,
a little ahead of this, though.
I really want to
Moves.
watch, I'm just feeling getting
Waiting
tired,
just
right?
on the other side of elbow.
This is so tense right now. Oh my gosh, the timing of the reload.
The reload.
Reads it like a book. Now they have 2 rifles that they can play around. And Sentinel's still not feeling comfortable. Haven't been able to get the spike down. With 13 seconds left, they start to commit to it and will succeed. Oh, it doesn't get much easier than that. 10 so steady. So stalwart.
No.
And every single one beginning to
1
crumble.
HP,
20
1
HP
HP.
left for Rooney. Zealous is not much better off. Can he deliver heroics? Can he be the spark for Cloud9?
He's getting wrapped as you're speaking. It's over. Sachi puts the end to Rooney's hopes and dreams of winning that 1v2. And Zelsis again, a shining star. He survived for so long. Dodged a showstopper and nade. No more. And then the cleanup on the actual site from this guy. Sachi himself.
A quiet performance, but the frags that come through are impactful. And so Sentinels have a 2-round lead.
Yeah, I was confused as
Still
well,
a couple
100.
votes to work with. Rooney has this
I really don't know.
instantly used with the trip to provide a little bit of extra cover. I think the question for Sentinels here is, do you force the
weird.
challenge?
Everyone
knowing
else
what's
just
waiting
says
for you
sassy.
there? Or do you get corralled away? Which is the intent of the
Saucy.
pit.
There. Bomb buddy out.
Yeah, Zalsis definitely looked like he was wanting to disrespect it. Seeing if Rooney would give him any type of mistake. Here's that response that you were mentioning. What would be Sentinel's decision? It's just sending Zekin on a lone warrior fight.
The problem with this pit is that if you get wrapped, there's no safety left.
There's nowhere to play.
And look at where Zekin is.
He's gonna get a timing on Moose right now. Oh my gosh! Speak of the devil!
Quick to the draw is the Sentinel. And now info gathered, they realize where the attack side is.
And it's these rounds where Sentinels just get discombobulated. They don't know where to go in the mid round.
I have dropped the spike. Ripe for reset. Sentinels with 35 seconds left in the round slow things down.
Yeah, John's dead right here for certain.
Don't drop down, John.
Now 5v3. A crossfire on the actual B site itself.
They try flooding out of heaven, and they just meet a dam. A flawless round for Cloud9 as they get to 5.
Oh, Moose. I don't know if it was intuition. I know he was aware that Zekin had crossed at some point, but he looked right on time. Seriously right on time. And then the cleanup, some really nice work. Playing under heaven right there. Good shots. Rooney stepping out of the pit to clean it up. Just like that, 5-6.
This goes here. Yes.
Remember, the
Seeing
first
the
half
watch
of
party
Haven
is so
was
weird.
equally as competitive. It was 7-5 the way of Sentinels, and that was it for Cloud9.
Oh.
But a lot more confidence from the defensive side. Vanity's already gotten the best of Zelsis. This is a very different look, too. The Paranoia out from really far away. That's going to allow Sentinels to rotate back. They could run another fake here.
Yeah, they want to end B, but the problem is with this camera being up at A.
Well, and the fact they don't have heaven control.
When this dog comes out, oh my gosh, Zekin in a crossfire.
Oh, watch party, watch party. Where we just sit here and watch
the Watchers.
The C9 headquarters watch the game.
10 strikes, makes his way out of garage. A 2v3, the way of Cloud9. Is he gonna try to flip the map? He is. The timing's gonna be a little awkward though. Saucy hasn't gotten over yet. So Moose will be ahead of this. He can cut off the rotations.
Triggered.
Cage goes up. Moose has isolated the fight with 10s on the other side. The timing not going his way. Moose gets the best of him once more. Now Saucy's forced to sit back and watch. No real way to get active. No real way to join. It's another clean round the way of Cloud9. Started by Vanity in that opener and cleaned up by Moose
Rushed
at the
to the
end.
bomb there.
Yeah,
That
somebody
wouldn't
on
have changed
Cloud9
anything.
definitely called, yo, Celsius is just running into B main like an absolute monster freak right now. Let me sit him down. There you go. It's just Vanity with the pre-fire on it. He understands that Celsius was playing for that first layer, just taking all that
Gonna watch the rest of this game from bed.
So that duel of old teammates goes the way of Vanity. We're going to throw it down to Elizabeth, who's actually standing by with some very special guests.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. Now, I've spoken to Grandma Zekin. I've spoken to Mama Zekin. Here are Zekin's cousins.
Let's see you run chat.
This is Gavin, and this is Samantha. And I'm going to say this right now. It is Gavin's birthday today. So, Gavin, you told me you play Valorant, right? So who do you main?
I main Viper.
Any Viper mains in the house? So, why do you main Viper?
Because she's really good for post plant and retakes.
You are such a smart 11-year-old. What's your favorite map?
Probably SEN.
Why do you like SEN?
Because it's paper thin walls.
Very smart. Do you like Abyss?
No.
Samantha! So you said to me earlier that you don't play Valorant. You're here to support your cousin. You flew all the way from New Jersey to support Zach. What is it like watching this game when you really maybe don't know what's going on?
I mean, it's very intense, but I know when I see my family cheering, then I'm cheering.
Have you had like a favorite moment so far? They're like, oh, that's so cool that happened.
Just all the screaming.
From the fans? Aww. Now, Gavin, I'm gonna make sure, if you are a developer at Riot, please listen. What should the developers add to the game?
Make everyone use a SEN bundle.
Honestly,
God damn, bro.
Everyone is on their feet cheering. I guess we're all getting SEN
Is that
bundles in the future.
okay,
Now, Gavin,
kid?
since it is your birthday,
Rep
you get a
it.
choice. Do you want a Sky Flash or a Jet Knife? A Sky Flash? Here you go, and you get a Jet Knife. Everyone say happy birthday to Gavin. And we're gonna throw some little stuff
That didn't
out.
sound
So
like
announcers,
anything.
please take it away while I throw toys at the audience.
Thank you so much, Liz, and happy birthday, Gavin. he's the new vibes merchant.
Yo, Sentinels need to hire that kid ASAP.
Yeah.
Brother.
Zelsis is done.
Job well done right there from him. And who knows, maybe a rising star, a rising pro.
Have a new Viper main on our hands. A fight just like we saw on Haven. And again, this is where everything changed. See if it happens again.
That's so reminiscent of that last map. And if Zekken can have a hot start as well going into this, you imagine they'll run away with it.
Oxy's going to be looking to do the same, though. He's got light armor, already pushing forward. We're going to continue to see this exchange of utility across the middle of the map. As soon as there's a threat, the orb goes up to dissuade and deny.
Yeah, with Viper being nerfed, you can't get that gas up in time, so it's all a play just to bait out that orb. Not allow the enemy team to have any type of Viper utility on the actual hit. Doesn't matter because it's not Viper's sight that's being hit. 10's here.
But what happens?
Some teammates flood in him. He was alone for a little bit.
You got to be careful about this wall here. Sassy has
they're swinging out. No.
That's exactly what they're trying to do.
Oh, no.
Unable to find that timing window. Leaving John by himself.
Oh, it's over. Not good.
This would be the third pistol the way of Cloud9. They won the first half of Haven.
That didn't even happen.
They've won both on split. Very impressive.
That was good prep done from Cloud9. Their strategy into this pistol round was bait the mid, Viper utility there. You know at least you're going to keep somebody in vent. And then you just walk out and fight in the open because they understand that... They understand that Sentinels like to flood in behind that Viper wall when it's up. Their attack side of Viper wall, that one that we're seeing right now. They know that Sentinels like to play behind those walls, wait for them to drop, and then get the one up. Being aware of that, that's really good prep work. How does Sentinels approach retake on that B site after what just happened?
I love this really aggressive Viper wall out mid. Look at how far back Zeppa just had to use a dog for him to clear mid. Yeah. That's often space that's given for free. You don't really meet any resistance until you get to the orb. But because of that wall, they're forced to use the dog early. The paranoia out from heaven as well. I mean, ultimately, this will likely go the way of Cloud9, given the weaponry that they have and given the lack thereof for Sentinels, but it's these little things that could prove to be a difference maker later in the half.
I've seen Sentinels do some crazy things on these B retakes, especially when they have classics, so not quite out of it just yet. The smokes are all to scale a little bit more forward. Zeppa might get caught.
That's gonna hurt. That nade does not feel good. Well, it hurt the wrong guy.
I don't think we're...
That Saucy will fall. That's the second time we see a Sentinels nade kill a Sentinels team member.
I was going to say, I don't think Sentinels are bringing
Zeppa and Zelsis are
after that start.
That is a
certified
way for that to go. But for Cloud9, I think they get through this as cleanly as possible. They carry 2 rifles into the next round. Barring this.
Damn.
It's another flawless round for Cloud9.
Yeah, a great pistol win again. And this is 2 rounds in a row now that there's been an insta-walk with that B main wall being up. This time around, it will be against a full rifle buy from the side of Sentinels, so probably going to be a more slow approach from Cloud9.
I mean, this would be big if they were able to convert this bonus. They've invested into this a little bit here. Not as big a Turtle fans anymore. What just happened? Cloud9 with the 2-round lead. It's that same Viper wall.
Uses the only molly.
And this is what I was talking about. This is where they often get caught, is this orb here. Cloud9 forced to use some utility to get past it. There's a dog.
Healing over here.
Yeah, and that up, down. Not punishing Aruni, so now it's full info. If there's 2 players playing for the B main fight, usually mid is free. That's why you see Cloud9 taking that space. So the macro game right now,
I just want Sen to win.
Really good.
It's been very impressive.
Close out.
This is a big round, though. If they want to try to convert this, Oxy feeling the pressure of the flash in his face. Satchel's back. There's a little bit of space that's been found for Moose for Day, but if they commit to this, John's setup is here.
Yeah, so much relies on John and Zelsis right now. Zekken is not going to be here in time unless he invests those satchels on the rotate.
Look at that deep smoke from Vanity. It's so nice. Forcing Zekken to wait For just a moment, now they've turned their attention towards A. The paranoia is out, but Second and Zelsis hold the line.
Damn.
An excellent response from Sentinels.
CT.
Vanity
Nice. Damn, that was a good round.
Chopped down.
It's
a
so
very good
tough
round.
to bust through that Viper and Cypher setup on A. I mean, both those cages coming up. We've seen John do this time and time again. He's such a good anchor on this defensive side of Split. He does a really good job of changing his setup, changing his trips. 2 players got tagged by those trips, and it's Zelsis to get the kills off of him.
Boys, good round. Let's go. Good job. You're welcome. Good job. I played perfect there. Cool.
I think the difference that I'm seeing out of this new Sentinels roster is the control. They're not getting too overhyped, not getting too over anxious. Seems like their communication is a lot more stable.
They find themselves in a fight. 1 round separating these 2 squads. It's been a long time since Cloud9 has been able to say that they've beaten an American team. The last 3 wins that they've had have been against Brazilians. But they're pushing Sentinels here. Oxy on the swing. Zekin manages to stay alive. That nade dog combo is not going to feel good. 40 HP for the start.
What do they do after they just push Zekin off this angle? Do they try to go back? Zeppa, he's really confident.
Reasonably so.
Oh my gosh.
Besting 10s from a distance. Zekin managing to avoid the paranoia, spotting a target, dropping the second.
No, Zekin!
So Zelsis is here by himself. If he can create enough havoc here on his own, this could be a problem. They're rotating back, and John's still here. Oh, he plays his timing.
Damn, John got him.
Moose in a 1v2.
Nice.
Pressure piling on.
Elbow. Damn.
And he's greeted by John on the other side.
John and Zelsis.
Gotta love him.
This duo on this map.
Gotta love him.
They're playing their roles to perfection. That was a really nice entry from Zeppa, but second, he dodged every set of utility that was being thrown at him.
And gets 2 kills while doing it.
Yep.
1 enemy remaining.
Vanity.
Okay, they're dead.
He tried to steal a play from Sentinels. We saw that same exact play be made by Sentinels in that last half.
We've often talked about the discipline from Sentinels. You were mentioning it just a couple of rounds ago. Even there, a perfectly good example of it. John not rotating away, not taking the bait of the eye candy that was being shown. Stays back A, gets the kill and secures the round, ties us up at 8, and forces a timeout out from Cloud9.
Yeah, really good awareness. Seeing that Vanity had that Omen ultimate online, and that could have potentially been an option the entire round. So yeah, why not just stay?
C9?
He can creep his way in just like Moose did in that round. But yeah, this has been a very competitive half so far. I like what I'm seeing from both sides. Cloud9, they've put up such a good split map going against a team that's regarded as one of the best split teams, hands down. Looking snazzy up there. It is a tie game, 8-8. With Cloud9 being put on a scrappy bye, just a stinger for Zeppa.
He is 1 away from his ult as well. Light armor on 4. What is the adjustment? Again, that 1-way is just instantly crossed.
This can be a pop flash setup. Oh no. Just an info flash gathered. 10s and backside B. I worry for Sachi on this angle though, because he's kind of exposed. He's giving a gunfight. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. The fadeaway, huh?
The concern was misplaced. And remember here, the buy for Cloud9 was not great. And Rooney has had some ridiculous moments with the Sheriff, and he's been quiet on it in a little while. Hasn't had that same electricity. Hasn't had that same impact. He got a couple there, but it doesn't look like it'll be enough. 2 left, Vanity with 5 HP, and Moose is healthy, sure. But the spike is well out of reach.
Last player standing.
Double swing on top of it to seal the deal. John and Zelsis close out another round. But it was Saucy. Sitting in the open there. I was worried for him. I was worried about giving a 1v1 to Oxy, but Oxy, he's just not been feeling it on this map. He's been getting put down. Oh, beautiful shot. Nice connection.
Oh, that little off angle there.
Yep.
And you're right, Oxy was just not ready for it.
He was so fast on his screen. Saucy, yeah, he's a veteran player, but he still got it. He's so quick with it.
We talked about this Oxy versus second matchup and how good of a head-to-head it was going to be. Unfortunately, Oxy has been alarmingly quiet. 5-12.
He still has room to make up for it. It's only 8-9 right now.
That window's closing real quick, though, man.
It is. This is a must-win round.
You wonder if this was where the conversation was on the timeout for Emmy, too. There's a lot of presence mid. And again, they use the flash to try to clear the orb, but as soon as they do that, there's a spit at their feet.
The cycle of utility. Now getting deep B main info. Tens and Sachi playing really up close and aggressive here. Rooney might get caught out in transition on the reload. Oh my gosh. Ten's connected on his head.
Yeah, I thought he was going to force the matter too with the paranoia, but while all of that's happening, Zekin's trying to hold the line on his own. Back towards A, and he cannot. Can John do it? Tries to clear the Seekers. They've gotten the spike closer and closer to getting down. Meanwhile, their duelist on the side of the attack is gone.
30 seconds.
Zelsis on the swing. Vanity gets the spike down.
Planted.
If they can get out, they have a pit. They can try to lean into this. Tens is just so far away from the play.
Yeah, full info gathered now, so Tens can knife out, reconvene with his team. Sachi, he's going to be the one to start this retake, to initiate it.
Keep an eye on Moose. He's in a really good position. If he goes uncleared, it's going to be a problem. And they haven't checked him so far.
Great flash.
The flash is so pretty.
Oh my gosh, what a retake.
Damn.
Unbelievable.
Hype me up. Hype me up.
They've done it again.
They're so good at retakes on this map. That's why they're willing to give
Sentinel
that space up
split
freely.
retake. Hard to beat. Hard to beat.
Got taken out early there. Oxy did a really good job of breaking the sight lines, breaking the crosshair.
Right.
But that was the blunder. No smoke in heaven. And then Oxy dies for free.
One enemy remaining.
Oh my goodness. I didn't catch that second shot from John. That pre-fire, the intuition on point right now. And yeah, he had a rough first half, but now all of a sudden, he's sitting at 9-10.
And that's 4 in a row for Sentinels. The ults are plentiful. One of them already used the pit across the middle of the map.
Yeah, that's mid on lock right now. If A ramp control is maintained, you don't need to worry about getting wrapped whatsoever as well. I think that's why you see Tens posted up right here. Yeah, they're getting proactive here. Tens, if that dog connected on anybody, could have used the paranoia as well. A fast re-clear of A main control.
Saucy was waiting close by with Seekers online as Tens takes a step back.
Oh, you know what? I've seen Sentinels set this play up so many other times. You have a deep cam at B, and then Zekin's just playing off of it with a rocket.
Any contact, any skin shown, and it's explosive. That flash not going to connect. Rooney could be waltzing into his death with Zappa on the other side.
There has to be a trade here. They cannot both be taken out, but they might!
It wasn't off the cam. It doesn't connect. Only one is found. Zappa on the response as the rest of the spike tries to get out towards A. Tens is going to be challenged. He's able to find one. Paranoia to reposition.
What?
Falls. It had the makings of something special, but again, Sentinel slammed the door.
The setup is just foolproof. You have all mid control, you have a trap in B main, and then if anyone wants to speed up A, I mean, you've got layers on layers on layers of players there.
It wasn't even off of the cam.
Yeah.
As soon as the attack side orb went up from Rooney, Zelsis took that as his moment to strike. Unbelievable. So another round will go the way of Sentinels. That's what, 5 rounds in a row now for the defensive side? They're running away with this thing.
It really feels like Haven right now.
We're not done.
A little bit more of a fight, a little bit more of a punch from Cloud9.
Sure.
They don't get ecoed. They'd win the pistol, but still, these gun rounds, they just cannot break through the fortifications of Sentinels. The setups are too clean.
One enemy remaining.
What a hold from Tens, man.
Yeah. And it's nothing new. We've seen Sentinels run that exact same setup so many times. It's just when they decide to actually run the setup.
Sure. A hero rifle in the hands of Zeppa. 17 and 11 so far. Oxy one away from his ult. Again, continues to be quiet.
To be fair, I feel like he's been getting very unlucky in this game. No heaven smoke one of the rounds after he breaks crosshair entries. Oh, he has an opportunity here to get a kill. There you go.
And that's a rocket online. They handed him the rifle. Now the ult to play with. No satchels to go, though. He's going to commit to it anyway. Almost got tagged up. 85 HP.
See what I'm saying?
He gets peppered through the smoke. The spam causing problems.
Oh, how does that not kill? It worked for a second.
It looked like the exact same rocket.
That ultimate, man.
But they're going to try to flood out onto the pit with the Seekers. Can they find the space? Oxy's down.
One enemy remaining.
Every single member of Cloud9 crumbling. Vanity in a 1v4. You've got Second over the top. You've got Celsius with 3. You've got Sentinels at series point.
This defensive side from Sentinels, as soon as the gun round came into fruition, there's been no signs of slowing down, even when they're down. Disadvantage. A Viper's Pit even on the site. But the thing with this squad, they have protocols to deal with when a Viper ult gets put down on A or B. They have so many layers to their split. So much depth in the playbook. They've been in nearly every situation against every single comp on this map. And they're so quick to identify the right play in the right moments.
The attack side woes for Cloud9 continue. Remember Haven was the same story?
Oh, Celsius hasn't done this yet in this half. Playing really upfront in their face.
He gets pushed off instantly. There's no help in ropes. He's just kind of here by himself. Takes a step back. Cloud9 go forward with the paranoia. Celsius has to try to get away and manages to do so.
Even gets a tag on Oxy, putting him down to 50 HP. And this Omen smoke coming out, this is going to negate any type of heaven pressure that Cloud9 have been trying to put on.
If they try to split B here, again, they're going to have to deal with the trips. They're going to have to deal with John's setup.
It's too hard to deal with. Celsius is going to just push through. As soon as this contact gets made.
What an angle.
There you go. He feels it. He can sense it. Everyone
God,
from
Jesus. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh my God. This. It's unfortunate.
Not dropping a map in the last 4 matches, huh?
8-0.
That's a statement. Yeah, we didn't make Shanghai. Okay. But we got to take a break. We got to go on a little all-inclusive resort trip. And look at us now.
So much to be excited about for this squad. They do look refreshed. They do look revitalized. They do look reinvigorated.
All right. I'm getting the hell out of here. You people enjoy yourselves for the rest of the night, but I gotta do some sleeping, catching up on some sleeping.
But I'll be honest with you, there wasn't any of
Goodbye, freaks.
Job well done from Sentinels. And yeah, a lot of the